Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Good Game as West Ham United take on Bournemouth. Kickoff an hour and 5 minutes away at the London Stadium. But the big news is all about who is available, who is not available for West Ham. Never mind the starting 11. Who's on the bench? Do we have a bench? Well, the official lineups are out in 5 minutes' time, so we'll get the starting 11 then. However, if you've been tuning into the videos this week, you'll know what the starting 11 is going to be. In terms of the transfers, Benrahma, we're waiting for confirmation that he's gone. But in a bit of a twist this evening, West Ham have agreed a deal with Real Betis for Pablo Fornals. Now, Pablo Fornals was due to be on the bench. The team sheet goes in an hour and a half before kickoff, so at 6 o'clock this evening, the team sheet would have went into the referee, and Pablo Fornals was due to be on the bench for West Ham. However, we have withdrawn him from the squad, so Fornals will not feature this evening, and he is set to join Real Betis. He's going to have his medical in London tonight ahead of that move, but Pablo Fornals will be joining Real Betis, and Saïd Benrahma is likely to be joining Lyon. However, at this point, there's no players coming in. We'll wait for the official confirmation. However, I do believe Maxwell Cornet is on the bench. That move to Crystal Palace, we had agreed a deal allegedly with Crystal Palace, but it was dependent on West Ham bringing somebody in. We're not bringing anybody in as it stands, but also Benrahma and Fornals are leaving. So Cornet looks like he will be remaining at West Ham for this season, but the other two are off ski. 17 million for Saïd Benrahma and 8 million euros for Pablo Fornals is the fee. Frank, I don't know what you're talking about. Who's Alvarez is starting? I don't know where you're getting the rumor from. Someone said earlier there was a rumor Alvarez was dropped. I don't know where it's come from. No, when I said you've been tuning into videos, what I've been predicting, basically back for the 4 midfielders and Bourne and Kudus. That is what I believe is the starting 11 tonight. But we'll get official confirmation in 3 minutes. The reason I'm pulling you up, Frank, is because I have not said no Alvarez. You're attributing that rumor to me. I'm running a million miles away from that rumor. That's not something I've claimed. Quite the opposite. I've thought that rumor's incorrect and rubbish. And I think, well, we're seeing it tonight, really. He's starting alongside Cameron Phillips. We'll see when Paqueta comes back, what happens. Anyway, the official lineup should be out in a few minutes. No Gonzo tonight. Gonzo is at the London Stadium. He's gone to the game. So you're stuck with me. Charlie will be joining me in a little bit, and then he'll be doing the watch along. I'll join him at half-time. Then I'll be here at full time. Then we're going to take a 10-15 minute break while we do everything to all the videos. There's stuff to do. Once you've finished streaming, you have to go back and do stuff. Once we've done all that, we'll be live at approximately 10:15 this evening. Myself and Charlie will be live. It will be a transfer deadline day show. I know the joke, but we're not signing any players, but we'll be very interactive. So if you're up for a late one tonight, myself and Charlie are here to keep you company as the deadline transfer window just gently closes with a creak. It's a rusty one. It's a creak. Anyway, right then. Bingo. Match bingo. That one. Match bingo. This video and for the rest of the season, Match Bingo are sponsoring every single build-up show and Watchalong. Now, Match Bingo is an app which you can download. Use the link in the description below, and you can get up to 10 free cards per month, so you don't have to pay. It is a gambling app. You can win money, but there is free cards on the app for you to get without depositing any cash. However, this evening, there is a bingo card available for West Ham against Bournemouth. It's combining the traditional game of bingo with West Ham against Bournemouth. It's £2 per card. You can only have a maximum of 5 because of gambling responsibly. They have capped it as £2 per card. Charlie will be buying one, and Charlie will be playing it throughout the evening. I've got mine on the go as well. If you do want to get involved, links in the description. You get 15 things to happen. Whoever gets the first line first will receive £25, 2 lines £50, and a jackpot of £100 for full house if somebody wins the big money. So there you go. If you fancy getting involved, massive thank you to Match Bingo, but please do use the link in the description below. Like I said, you don't have to deposit money. You can play just the free games, everything. They want us to promote the free games, but we're promoting the Bournemouth game tonight because Charlie is playing it. Anyway, let's have a little look and see what you're all saying in the live chat. Well, actually, the lineup should be out in about a minute. Yeah, Daniel, you do have to put up with me. Sorry, you've got to put up with me. Josh, it's a new shirt. No, we've had out for a while, and it's the opposite. We're clearing them out. They're on sale. These are now on sale. We're getting rid of them, and we're not restocking them. So if you want one, go to the store. You've got I think it's £5 off at the minute, and they won't go cheaper. And once they're gone kind of thing. The starting 11 for West Ham United this evening is, as predicted all week, which does include Edson Alvarez, Frank. The West Ham starting 11 tonight is Alphonse Areola in goal, with a back four of Ben Johnson at right back, with Vladimir Coufal suspended. Centre backs, we've got Konstantinos Mavropanos and Kurt Zouma, with Emerson at left back. Now, this is where we're going to have to work out, how are we playing? I will tell you the personnel, and we can decide how we're going to be playing. We've got Edson Alvarez with Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips straight in for his full debut, with James Ward-Prowse and Thomas Souček. And we've also got Mohamed Kudus and Jared Bowie. So I would suggest it's our strongest starting 11 in terms of personnel, in terms of players available. That's the strongest 11. Now, how that fits, I think there's two options. I think either option A, he's moved James Ward-Prowse out to the left-hand side. So we will see Alvarez and Phillips sitting with Souček sort of box to box, Ward-Prowse to the left, Kudus to the right, and Bowen up front. Or I think we've got option B, which is Kudus and Bowen up front, and then somehow we'll have some form of midfield makeup with that four players. How that works, I don't know. Ward-Prowse on one side, and who the other wide player would be, I do not know. So we'll take a little guess at what you're all going to be thinking in a second. But that's the West Ham starting 11. Like I said, I think it's the strongest personnel available for us tonight. The bench suggests that. The only change I guess you could have done is have Maxwell Cornet in the starting 11 and made it more balanced, having Cornet on the left, Kudus on the right. But I get why he's done it. And when David Moyes has been preparing for this game, this is the thing that's a bit iffy for me with playing on deadline day. David Moyes has had to prepare for this game. Let's just say Monday he started preparing for it. All week in training, it's likely Ben Ram and Fornals have been going, but not 100%. And then there was talk of Maxwell Cornet going as well. So essentially, there's been uncertainty over any of those three being available tonight. Ben Rama was definitely not available due to suspension, but Fornals could have been available. He's meant to be on the bench. So I think he's probably been forced into using these players just in case Cornet was so... Because let's be honest, it would be a little bit embarrassing if Moyes had intended on using Maxwell Cornet and then we let Crystal Palace have him today. And then after the game, Moyes says, well, actually, I had to change Cornet last minute and bring in somebody else, because we'd sit here and go, well, that was a bit silly, weren't it, planning to use Cornet when it was obvious he could have been off skis. So I do feel he's not stitched up by the club. He's been stitched up by the transfer deadline being today, really. The bench for West Ham this evening is Fabianski is on there alongside Ogbonna. We've also got Adam Creswell, as well as Scarles, Casey, Orford, Mubama. Cornet's on there, as well as Danny Ings. West Ham benches on your screen at the minute. There you go. Charlie, Dean's asking if you could message him back. Anyway, the poll is now live in the live chat. Please get involved. Please select the one that reflects your opinion on West Ham starting 11 the closest. Frank, you've been even the start. I've discussed this. He was due to be on the bench. He's travelled with the team because he was meant to be playing tonight, because we'd rejected the Real Betis bid. We've only just accepted it, so that's why he's no longer on the bench, and he's off ski. But he was due to be involved tonight. That's why he's travelled with the team. It's not a farewell. I believe he's now away to do his medical in London ahead of this potential move. Coufal is suspended. That's why Coufal's not in the squad. He's suspended. And thank you, GP, for the £2. I can't see what the super sticker is because of the software I use, but thank you very much, and much appreciated. Right, what we're going to do now, we're going to turn our attentions to Bournemouth and have a look at their starting 11 and bench, and then we'll get interacting in the live chat and we'll have a little bet. We tend to do better when Gonzo's not here. Chances of winning increases. Now, granted, the winnings up for grabs decreased drastically. There's no 10 grand, but chances increase. Lewis Orford's a centre midfielder. A very good one too. Quite young, quite physically maybe not ready for the Premier League, but I think technically, I think he's really good. He's one player I've got high hopes for, actually, to make it at West Ham. Orford's someone, when I seen him live, he impressed me. He stood out with his technical ability. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Orford, that is. I don't think he'll come on, but his future at West Ham. The starting 11 for Bournemouth this evening. Let me just switch over to this one. Bear with me a second. Right, the team for Bournemouth this evening is in goal. They've got Neto, and at the back they've got Lloyd Kelly along with Smith. They've also got Sensai and Zabarni at the back as well. In midfield, they've got Cook and Christie. Oh, fantastic. Alex Scott is playing. I was hoping he was still going to be an option from the bench, but Alex Scott's gone into the starting 11 tonight alongside Semenyo and Tavernier and Dominic Solanke up front. So they're benefiting from Ghana being eliminated as well because Semenyo's back. We've got Kudus back. They've got Semenyo back. Ryan Christie, a bit, say, light in centre mid. I'm trying to work out who will be playing alongside Cook, whether they'll drop Scott in there or drop Ryan Christie in there. But that's the Bournemouth starting 11, a strong starting 11 for Bournemouth this evening. If I was a Bournemouth fan, I'd be pretty happy with that lineup. Lloyd Kelly, I've still got question marks about him. I've still got iffy ones, so there's potential for Kudus to get at him. I have to agree with Dylan saying that Lewis Cook's a good footballer and dominates. I'm a big fan of him. When he first broke through, when he went to Bournemouth before he got that horrific injury, I thought he was fantastic. And I'm pleased to see him sort of back in having a career as a Premier League footballer. Gareth said, happy with the bench. Nice to see some youth players, even Ben Johnson at right back. And Tom Slab, yeah, we do have 4 centimetres. How they line up, I don't know. We'll have a discussion in a second and see what you're all thinking. The bench for Bournemouth I've got in alphabetical order. Charlie might have in a better order for you on the screen, but my alphabetical order is Philip Billing along with Kirkes, Kilkenny. How do you say this one? Is it Favre? I don't know. We've also got Cliver, Kinsey Wellings, as well as Mempham, Sinisterra and Travers, who's the substitute goalkeeper for Bournemouth this evening. So there you go. There's your starting 11 for West Ham United and Bournemouth, as well as the benches. Right then, I'm going to take a few comments from you, and then we're going to do a little bet. We're just going to break it up by taking some of your questions. Dylan says could be a 4-2-2-2. I think it will. Well, I guess you're going to do that. Who's the wide players? That's the thing. I know James Ward-Prowse will be one of them, but who would the other one be? Surely not Souček. And I don't want to see Calvin Phillips running down the wing either. Albo said he's looked up Sarr and thinks he's good, scores some cracking goals. Jordan said, I know it's only a suspension that caused it, but hoping Johnson has a worldie today. Man of match performance might set him up for a great end of the season. I agree. Harry says, narrow diamond for midfield. I think that's possible. I do think it's possible. I think Bournemouth can be relatively narrow. They've also got 2 wingers out there, but that's for our fullbacks to deal with. But apart from that, I don't think there's too much. It's just a case of who then, when Bournemouth have attacking fullbacks, and they do, who's going to come back and mark them kind of thing. I think my guess would be, and it is a guess, I don't know. My guess would be that they're possibly James Ward-Prowse on the left, not a winger, just covering the left-hand side of the pitch, and Kudus will get up alongside Jared Bowen a little bit. It's difficult to work out, but I guess it's a good thing. Bournemouth might struggle to work out. Connor thinks it's 4-3-3 with Souček in the 9. I mean, the worst thing is I've heard, I can't even laugh at this. I feel like I want to laugh at it. But there's something about it that it's almost like credible. That is something I could see us doing. William says, very good record against them recently. Should be a home win. Brandon says, Coney won us the game in Europe and gets dropped. He then scores and gets dropped. Moyes makes my blood boil. So unbalanced. So. Right, I've defended Moyes, and I will for this one. Just for this game. I think Moyes would have been bonkers to plan for this game using Kearney when there was a strong possibility we were going to offload him today, yesterday. Had he started planning for this game with Kearney in the team or with Fornals in the team, I think he could have potentially been on a hide into nothing, really. I get why he's planned with the players that he knows will be at West Ham tomorrow. There was a big question mark over Kearney. I get it. I get what you're saying, Brandon. And if there wasn't deadline day today, I would have liked to have seen Cornet start, but I get it. And I'm probably giving Moyes too much benefit of the doubt because there's more evidence to suggest he wouldn't have played anyway than that he would have played. But I just think I get why he can't really play Curry for this one. Fred said, I know Bournemouth have improved, but we don't win this and get into them. No bus part, we have problems. Hammerboy 08 says, feeling very disappointed today about the team and the whole transfer window stuff. Every time we get a sniff of progress, someone goes and ruins it. Mark thinks the bench looks a bit rubbish. Mancunian says 4 centre mids and 2 centre backs are liabilities. We should not be in this position when there should have been months of planning to ensure we don't. That's the annoying thing, isn't it? Mike says we knew we were selling Ben Raman for nows, so there's no way we have that kind of. The thing is, Mike, I don't think Ben Rama was keen to go. Let's put it that way. I think Ben Rama's dragged his feet over the last couple of days and going reluctantly. I think that's a fair phrase. I don't think he wanted to go to Lyon. I think he wanted to go to Marseille. He was hoping they'd come in, but I don't know. Just like I said, I've just got a little bit of sympathy for Moyes in this regards. Not for Man United. There's no excuse for not playing Kone against Man U if he's still here come 2 a.m. tomorrow morning, but we'll see. Troy says, morale for players hopefully okay. They're likely to be disappointed in window as much as us. Lewis says, Ings deserved to start over Souček for this game, given his last performance, plus Souček was not very good. The one thing why I will say about Souček for this one, again, I'm not defending the inclusion of Souček. I'm justifying what Moyes has done. I'm not saying I agree with it. This is why Moyes has kept Souček in. But Bournemouth are the second worst team in the league when it comes to set pieces, defending set pieces, that is. So I think if there's an opportunity for us tonight, it's probably through scoring set pieces. And as we know, Souček's a threat at them. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's something we're targeting. The problem is getting the bloody set pieces. But there you go. Like I said, I wouldn't have started Souček. I wouldn't have done. But I'm just trying to give an insight as to why I feel Moyes is picking him. To be fair, Bournemouth could have been the best at defending set pieces. I still think he would have selected him. But for this one, I feel like I get it more. Brandon says, Kone scoring Ings played the best game. Either one of them were a better choice over Souček. Really, really hope I'm wrong. Praying I'm wrong. I mean, do you know something? You don't have to justify that. I get it. When people say I don't like the team, by the way, I just assume we still want to win. Even though you're unhappy, you say I don't like that player being in the team. I assume you still want them to play well. That's why I don't like when people say, oh, get behind the team. Well, you can still have a negative view, but also support the team. It's not, I don't know. Anyway, right. Time to have a little bet. And while I'm having a little bet, can you all just take Andy's advice? Andy's saying to drop a like in the video by clicking thumbs up. It does actually help out a lot. Helps out this video, helps out the channel, but this video in particular. So if someone comes on to YouTube and types in West Ham Bournemouth, this video is the #1 recommended ones, and they'll end up joining us. So if you could download it, that'd be drop a like on it, that'd be grand. And for the second last time, I'm going to promote Match Bingo as I load up my Bet365 Bingo app, combining football with bingo. Links in description. Download it. It's free to download, free to sign up, but it is a gambling app, so you have to be 18 plus. And gamble responsibly, but that's something they take into consideration. And every bet you make, part of your bet goes towards a stroke association as well. So there's a charity aspect to it. Charlie will be playing along tonight. So if you're watching the watch-along part, Charlie will be playing Match Bingo. He'll tell you what his 15 things on his cards are, and he's going to be trying to scoop the jackpot, hopefully. But speaking of jackpot, I'm going to try and win one of you guys a little bit of money. So what we're fancying for the bet, what we're fancying, I've got a few things. I have to be honest with you. I've done a few things. Who's a hacking bugger for Bournemouth? Is Lloyd Kelly a hacking bugger for Bournemouth? I don't think he is, really. He doesn't commit too many fouls, does he? He doesn't. Cook does. We've overloaded the centre midfield, haven't we? He should commit a couple of fouls. Sensei is a bit of a chopper. Let's see him. He's not on the app. Nice one. Thanks for that, Bet365. What we're all saying? Smith, Book, Lewis, goal. Lewis, as in Lewis Cook. I'm not backing a Bournemouth player to score a goal. I'm not doing that. Zuma, goal. Andy says 3 corners for us. I thought you meant in the game there. I was like, definitely 3. Don't worry about it. Phillips, 2 Fouls and a Zuma shot. I like a Zuma shot. I do like it. A lot of people are suggesting Kurt Zuma, so I'm going to put a bit of Zuma. I'm going to have a bit of Zuma action for this one, right? Let's have a little bit of Zuma. So, bear with me. Player shots. Kurt Zuma to have 1. Boyne and Kudus to have 2 each. They like hitting it, don't they? And we'll do Solanke to have 2 because in form. Player fouls committed. Lewis Cook to do 2. Oh, that's the bet. Right, I've done the bet. £100 cash. If this bet wins, one of you will win £100. If you've already spoke in the live chat, you already entered. There won't be a phrase at pace tonight because I need you to be interacting with me for content for the stream. So if this bet wins, one of you guys win £100. Kurt Zuma to have a shot. Jared Bowen, Mohamed Kudus, and Dominic Solanke all to have 2 shots or more. And Lewis Cook to do 2 fouls. If that bet wins, one of you guys win £100. All you have to do is just comment in the live chat. It's something about the game. It could be about the West Ham team, the Bournemouth team. It could be about the transfer window, actually. You can talk about transfer window if you wish. Mark said 3 defensive midfielders at home against Bournemouth. My God, can I get any more defensive? I mean, you could argue we've got 4 if you want to make it more defensive. Hey says Zuma's a bad tackle away from his career. I've assumed Zuma's ended his career about twice already in the last month. Right at the end against Sheffield United or Bristol, possibly even both, when he went over on his knee. I thought that was it. I thought he was gone. I thought his leg was going to be detached when he got up. I thought he was going to go off, but he continued playing. This is a man that looks constantly looks broken, but yet defies science. He just keeps playing. Kara says we'll be 2-2. We're going to be all over them and win 3-0 or 3-1. Carl's got a bad feeling. Jay's asking what we score. Reckon we'll do the scores later on, but I'm saying 2-2 because I said it in the preview and I'm quite stubborn, so I'm going to stick to it. Dan's really happy for Fornals. Deserves to go somewhere where he's played and appreciated with the manager as well. Pellegrini loved a bit of Fornals, didn't he? No, Reddy, they're not shots on target, just shots. So even if a defender blocks it, it doesn't even have to go past the goal line, just shots, then we're all right. I always go 2 shots or 1 shot on target. That's my rule of thumb. Usually they're the same sort of price. That's why I've gone with those ones. Daniel says it's 4-3-3, Alvarez, Phillips, and then and Souček, and then Ward-Prowse, Bourne, and Kudus. Is Ward-Prowse playing left wing, do we reckon? Maybe. Charlie said, hoping for a Johnson masterclass to give us some attacking with. Liam says, surely us selling Ben Rama and Fornals means we're confident getting someone. Nah, come on. Come on, Liam. One thing, there's a few advantages and disadvantages to Cameron. Do we think we'll bring someone in? No, I genuinely, I do not know. Fred, yeah, I don't know who's a patron. Fred, the people commenting, I can't tell if you're a patron or no. I genuinely, I don't know. We do separate things for the patrons. At the minute, we do a prediction competition for patrons, and if the winner of tonight's game is an addict, they win a signed Sufal shirt, so they've got their own one. This is for everybody that's tuning in live. Arguably, not every patron enters this, but anyway, there's advantages and disadvantages to creating content. And I guess one, you could argue it's a disadvantage, but one of the advantages is I think it's helped my memory in regards to things that have happened at West Ham because we're discussing it. And I remember transfer deadline days, right? And I'll discuss this with Charlie at 10:15. But for those of you who aren't going to be joining us on deadline day stream, I remember us signing Jordan Hugo on deadline day. We were live. We didn't know who Jordan Hugo was. We were almost Googling Jordan Hugo live on YouTube. And it was Preston fans in the live chat laughing at us for spending 10 million on him. And Preston fans were telling us we'd been ripped off and he's crap. And we were trying to get excited about a player we've never heard of, while the Preston fans were all laughing at us in the live chat. We had Tony Henry. Remember Tony Henry, who used to be like a director of football at West Ham, Leeds scout, got sacked on deadline day. We were live and this news broke. Tony Henry was sacked for racism because he didn't want to sign any African players. That was my first dipping my toe into being careful with what I do and how I speak on YouTube, because you have to read out the newspaper article word for word, and I kept on having to use the word allegedly in there in case Tony Henry had an issue and tried to sue Hammers Chat. But Tony Henry got sacked for racism on deadline day. There was another deadline day where we signed nobody. I remember being sat here and there was an expectation we're going to bring players in, and we just didn't bring anyone in. And we're sat like, well, what's going on? Why wouldn't we? Were in a relegation battle that season as well. We just signed nobody. Anyway. So my point is, surely we can't sell players and not bring any in. Oh, we definitely can at West Ham United. We definitely can, and that's what I think. That's what I'm expecting to happen. I'm expecting us to sell Benrahma and Fornals and not bring anybody in this window. I think we will dress up Cornet as a replacement for one of those. And I think what the club will almost try and suggest Antonio returning from injury is like a new signing or something like that. I think that's how it will be dressed up and delivered to the fans, but we can definitely do that. Right says, no Paqueta, so I'm happy with this lineup. Hopefully Phillips lasts a good hour. I'm happy Johnson's getting a start and looking quite good against Sheffield when he came on in midfield, but he's played right, but I know what you're saying. David said, do you think we should have kept Marshall? We're saying yes, but also at West Brom, I seen this and I was going to look it up and I forgot, but someone can tell me in the live chat. West Brom not just signed a really good winger like today. I think West Brom brought somebody else in. So Marshall's already just got more competition than he had when he joined. Danielle, there isn't one. It's just give us your thoughts on the West Ham team or the Lingard team. I keep seeing people Lingard. Robert, your fault. The Bournemouth team. Just get your thoughts in about the game, basically, you entered. Avid says, reading, we've agreed to ship Cornet to Palace. We have to let someone coming in. I don't think he'll go. He's on the bench tonight. I don't think he'll go. I think we had the Palace Cornet deal lined up just in case either Fornals didn't go, Benrahma didn't go, or we did get somebody else in. I think we created that and we agreed that just in case, which I think, do you know something? It's not the worst thing in the world. Too often we've ended up with our pants pulled down late on in the transfer window, and we have in regards to incomings, but actually I think the club have done okay with departures in the transfer window. The problem is replacing them. That's the issue here, which is funny, really. It's usually the other way around. As it is asking, does anyone care that Gerrard is coming back? Depends. If Zuma's struggling tonight or Mavropanos plays crap, then all of a sudden I think you might see a burst of enthusiasm that Gerrard's back for the Man United game on Sunday. But when he went, he was hardly in the greatest of form, was he? Gerrard. I have to confess, while I've watched a lot of African Cup of Nations, he's not here, is he? The guy that called me out for it earlier, I don't think he's in the live chat. When I was watching African Cup of Nations, I didn't watch a Morocco game. It's not that I intentionally avoided them. It just they weren't on while I was watching football. Daniel said, why did we forget about getting a striker? Boy, alone made perfect sense. I think Fulham's better for him. I think he's made the right move. One thing I've discovered in the last couple of weeks on YouTube is people don't like it when you say who's best to go. Because I said I think Phillips, Newcastle would be a good place for Calvin Phillips to go. And someone got annoyed, but I felt that Phillips would be better going to Newcastle for Calvin Phillips. Obviously, I'm glad we've got him. I think I'm pleased we've signed him. For Calvin Phillips, I think Newcastle would have been the better option. And then what I said about how I sort of talked about how Nottingham Forest have Chelsea recalled Andre Santos, so Nottingham Forest, and someone's like, who cares about Nottingham Forest transfer business? And I was like, well, they want a loan Cornet. It's quite important. Anyway, I don't know. Angry people these days. T-Paul Pixie said, I think Gerrard's our best centre-back. So does Tony Gill. He does. Correct. Peter said, we've messed up another transfer window when we needed to get somebody in. Danielle is entering the bet giveaway, saying hopefully Mavropanos will find his feet and get some pace on the ball. Carl saying we've made about 20 million in sales. Say something about like that. I think Benrahma's package is transfer package is supposedly worth 70 million. It keeps going up. I like it. And Fornals is 8 million euros, so it's just over 20 million that we've made. Whereas he's not on the bench. Let me have a look. Yeah, Creswell's on the bench. active total. Let me just click the bench for you. There you go. The West Ham bench is on the screen now. I'm not going to read it out, but you can read it if you wish, and I'll turn it back off in a minute. Dan says Phillips is going to be class today, while Daniel says he's going to cook tonight. Charles says terrible news. We have European football, and we burnt out the squad last time when we did this. Canio says those Moyes outmock greatness. Moyes double bus parking is revolutionary. Years to come, Moyes double bus will be spoken of like Tiki Taka. I think we found Moyes' account. Dino saying is about I'll be a back four. I mean, it could be. Alvarez could be centre back tonight, and we could be seeing a 3-5-2. I've not really considered it, truth be told. I think that would surprise me the most. I think I'd almost like it. Robert said maybe we're going to start using the youth players. Well, I've seen this suggestion. The problem is we've loaded them out. You know, who's most likely, if we needed a winger from the youth team, who's the most likely player to step up? Probably Kadua or Marshall. We've loaned both of them out. The Marshall one, I have to be honest, I'm a bit hesitant about that loan deal. Just West Brom are a good side, and they've got good players in that team. We'll wait and see. But like I said, I thought they signed someone. Nobody commented, or if they did, I missed it. I'll have to have a look. Charlie will know. Corey said, I think West Ham fans have a tendency to go into panic mode. Of course, I prefer we got an attacker in, but I wouldn't be getting too upset about it. I wouldn't say it's panic mode. I think it's, as other people like Charles have said, we've been here before. We're in a good position, and we don't bring in anyone substantial. Now, we have Calvin Phillips. If we brought in Phillips and that was it, I think people would be happy. Like Kerr went out, Phillips came in, that was it. I think people would generally be okay with it. But I think it's because we're cashing in. We're getting rid of the deadwood a little bit, but we've now got no deadwood. You know, Paqueta's injured. I mean, look at it tonight. Paqueta and Antonio, they're the only two players not available, and we've now got to play 4 centre midfielders. Anyway. Blown Bubbles said, thank God we got Kudus back from AFCON. Could you imagine? To be fair, I'd like to think we wouldn't sell them. We would still sell them, even if Kudus was still at the African Cup of Nations. Dino says, I wonder if we were still in the FA Cup, we would still have sold them. Yeah, we would have done. We would have. Guy said Moyes has got his way with a very defensive team. This is getting worse, a West Ham fan. We'll just have to wait and see, Gary. Truth be told, I was having a little look at the league table earlier because I felt Oliver Burke, is he still playing? Where's he been? Remember, he was supposed to be really good. Ollie Burke. Where was he? Was it Nottingham Forest? I remember him from feels like 8 years ago or something. Is he still, anyway?
Ollie,
why he didn't play.
Do you remember when Ollie?
But what was I talking about? I can't remember now. Hang on a minute. Charlie's got audio, and
he can't hear me.
What are you saying?
Do you remember when he went to Leipzig for a while, and everyone was like, he's going to be like the biggest deal ever, and then he went to West Brom after that?
Yeah.
What a wild moment in time that was. Shout out Ollie Berg. I did not know he was still doing things.
Yeah, he went to Leipzig, Connor. So I remember he went abroad and disappeared for a bit.
Yeah. What a guy. Anyway, I'll be there in a sec. Give me 1 minute.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Anyway, Charlie, there you go. God came into the stream, and he will be live. Jesus will turn up next to me, actually. We've got God audio, Jesus visual. Ollie Burke, what a player. Not really. Grouch says we're playing a diamond with 2 up front tonight, question marks. He's asking, I don't know. Or are we going to make one of the most extreme shoehorn play? I think it's that one, Grouch. My feeling is it's Ward-Prowse on the left, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll get Charlie's view when he comes. He's usually a bit calmer than I am. I'm actually annoyed. Dean says, not so much panic mode, but disappointed. We're going to be left short, but we've cleared out players that don't get much game time, freeing up wages. We should have a decent bit of money for the summer, at least. It's just getting to the summer that's a problem, isn't it? We're in a good position. That's what I was saying. We're in a good position right now. I was having a look at the league table. Win tonight. I know. But we win tonight. We're 3 points behind Aston Villa. That's bloody good, isn't it? And then I was looking, we're 6, obviously, at the teams below us. Newcastle, I think Newcastle will be better in the second half of the season. Isaac Wilson remained injury prone, and they keep getting injured at the same time. But no European football now. I expect them to start picking up points. But beyond that, Man U, Chelsea, don't know. They don't scare me that much. They're not that bothered. Brighton, they've won 3 games in 3 months. I'm surprised they are where they are in the league, considering they can't win. I think we've got a good opportunity to get to 7th minimum in the league. I keep saying 8th, but I think I've increased my expectations by 1 league position now. Daniel said, looking forward to seeing Phillips. Hope he's match sharp. Moyes has chucked him in straight away, so I guess so. Still fancy us. We're going to be a long evening. Daniel, this will be the last time I mention it, because it's the 3rd time I've mentioned it across different videos. To read an article from Manchester City's side of things about Calvin Phillips, and there's 2 things I really liked. I like the phrase low maintenance, high ability. I like that phrase. And they were saying that's the problem for Calvin Phillips, because he won't go kick the door down of Pep Guardiola and say, play me. He was happy to just not kick up a fuss. Low maintenance. So I like that phrase. But the second one was about how they were saying, like, West Ham fans don't need to worry about Phillips being match sharp. They said he is match sharp. He hasn't played, but they said the training at Man City is so intense and such a high standard that even if you're not playing, you are match sharp, so that when Pep does call on you, you're ready to go. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, have I ever watched a Man City game and noticed somebody lacking match sharpness? And then Kevin De Bruyne starts his first bloody game of the season, and bang, bang, he's the best player in the league already. Like, oh, there you go. There's your. Now, De Bruyne is obviously a bit different given how good he is, but in regards to fitness, there was something there. Anyway, Colin Wu said Phillips only looked a bit rusty when he played for England. Bevo, how's things?
Not bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm looking forward to the game, actually.
I am as well. I think there's an element of, like, just complete uncertainty to it that's getting me more excited. Like, I think if we look at this lineup in, like, the next game or the game after that, then maybe I'll feel a little bit different. But at this point, there you go. Gio's got knowledge. You come with Scotland knowledge, just Gio.
I knew there was somebody else that they've just signed today. I knew it. Just couldn't. It's not like I was thinking, oh, it's a Scottish base. I wasn't thinking that. I just couldn't think at all who it was. But I knew they'd signed somebody that's now competition for Callum Marshall.
I don't mind that. I don't mind having competition.
Mikey Johnson's a funny player. I thought he'd go on to be like good enough for the Premier League. Do you remember a few years ago told somebody there was a few players in Scottish football?
Yes.
John McGinn, Kieran Tierney, Stuart Armstrong, Mikey Johnson, and there was one other one. I can't remember who it was. But I'm calling that success. And Mikey Johnson's the only player that hasn't played in England. Now he has.
Yeah.
Granted, championship. Fair. But I'm calling McGinn and Tierney as a success out of that. And Stuart Armstrong's done all right.
He played in the Premier League for Southampton. Yeah,
but Tierney and McGinn, I'm calling that as called it.
I think that's fair. Even if you only get 2 out of the 5, that's good. 3 out of 5 is good. Do you know what I mean? I can't remember who the 5th one was.
I did go have a look at the WhatsApp message, but I didn't back up my WhatsApp, so it's not there, so I can't see who the 5th one is. But I remember there would have been 5, and I remember Mickey Johnson being one of them. But it's annoying me who the other one is, but
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't have that encyclopedic knowledge of Scottish football like you do. You know.
I don't know. It wasn't Nathan Patterson. I really like Nathan Patterson, but it wasn't him because at the time he wasn't really like somebody that was big, if you like. Do you know who it might have been? Ryan Gold.
I mean, was it that long ago?
Yeah, it was ages ago because McGinn was still in Scotland.
That's a very great point.
And Dino Robertson was at Hull at this time. I don't know if he was at Liverpool, but he was at Hull. He was already in England, I think.
Didn't Robertson and Gould both leave at the same time?
Yeah, they're both at Dundee United.
Then they both leave the same window, though.
I'm not sure. John, I don't know. People are now reminiscing. Like the GP said that he was the next Messi. He was supposed to be. Went to Portugal, was doing it in MLS, but he doesn't get called up to Scotland because he's not doing it in Scotland. But anyway, Charlie, I'm looking forward to the game. I agree with what you're saying. it could go either way. I think there's goals in
Yeah.
this game tonight. It could. I struggle to see either side keeping a clean sheet. I think both teams have got enough about them going forward. I think defensively, both teams are there. We got. I was just saying before you came on that Bournemouth are the second worst team in the league at defending set pieces, so that's a bit of an advantage for us as well. So I'm looking forward to this one. Alex Scott scares me a little bit. I was hoping he wouldn't be starting, but
yeah, I mean, depending on how we set up, if we set up what I think we will do, which is what you were initially saying with James Ward-Prowse.
What do you think we're doing?
Gone very wide. I agree with you. I think James Ward-Prowse shifting out onto the left. I think that's what's going to happen. I think you see Kudus on the right. I think you see Bird down the center. I think you see James Ward-Prowse down the middle. Thomas Souček is the sort of 10-ish type vibe, and then or Thomas Souček and Calvin Phillips taking turns at being the 10-ish type guy, and then Alvarez sitting. That's what I believe we're doing. And if we're doing that, then nothing they're gonna do scares me more than anything else. I just look at it and go, right, as long as if we turn up and we do our thing, then I'm relatively okay with what's going to go on. If we're playing some sort of diamond that people have been talking about, there's some things that terrify me about that, because, and I don't think that's, I also don't think that's likely.
Fullbacks will annihilate us. They get forward.
And also, realistically, we're a David Moyes side. We do everything on the wings. We're not going to play only two fullbacks on the wings. Do you know what I mean? I just don't see it happening. I think you're more likely going to see James Ward-Prowse shoved out onto the left-hand side than anything else. Although, having said that, flipping Sam did it. Big Sam did it for a while. We were lightning.
Do you reckon Moyes was like, oi, it was good enough for Steven Gerrard at England, it's good enough for you at West Ham? Right?
Maybe.
Mark, you're right. I've just checked the league. I don't know why I've had in my head that we were only 3 behind Villa. Someone must have told me, and I've just believed them. Even though I did look at the league earlier, but I was looking at teams below us more than above us. Anyway, scrap that. If we win, we're 5 points behind Villa. Not as good, is it? Doesn't really get me as excited as potentially 3 points did. But once we beat Bournemouth and Man United, then we'll. Gordon saying Steiden's on the pitch. So they're saying he does this every game, by the way, before someone starts clambering to any conclusions. Iron Man said it as well. Steiden talks to Moyes pitch side during every warm up. So
yeah, that wasn't going to make any signings anyway. I think this is it done. I think when we started to hear on deadline day, West Ham want to sign a winger on loan, and that was the story. Not this specific person, not this specific. And I know. Very soon after, Graham Bailey posted like about Sarr and all that other stuff, which I didn't believe personally, but like I get it. Like when one of the most trusted sources at West Ham, we talk about it all the time in the transfer room videos. You got X, you got Darmesh, you got Romano, and you've got Steinberg at the Guardian. Right, they're the big four for me, who are like super trustworthy. When one of those puts out, West Ham want to sign a winger on loan, that sort of raises alarm bells, because it's not like West Ham are in talks for this person, West Ham are in advanced stages for that person. It's they just want a guy. Then at that point, I was like, yeah, we're not going to sign anyone.
Might as well be West Ham wanting to sign any winger on loan, just anyone available. Anyone available, we'll consider
Basically.
It's the 3 a.m. dance floor option, isn't it? Right? Who's left?
Yeah, look, not that I can speak to that, but yes.
So we were looking for a paper bag job.
Listen,
on deadline day.
Listen, it is what it is. It's been a slow window in general for everyone. It's not entirely surprising that we've.
Turns out we didn't want to pay the taxi fare for the paper bag job. We decided to go home and have a wank instead.
No, it turns out we were speaking to who we thought was their friend. But actually, it was just some rando person who said they were mates with them. And then we realised after speaking to them for a significant amount of time that it didn't work out. It's just the way the transfer window goes sometimes, Sometimes you end up speaking to the wrong agent for about
every deadline day at West Ham, it feels like. It feels like every deadline day that something like this occurs.
Not yet true, but usually at the end of the window, we sort of liven up all of a sudden. It's the rest of the window. If anything, we were lively at the beginning.
I guess the only small advantages, we're not pissing money up the wall like we have done in the past, where it's just panic buying and whatever. At least we've not done that.
We don't need another Danny Ings, you know what I mean?
But it's just disappointing. If we were 10th in the league, Charlie, I'd understand why we're keeping the money for the summer, but we're not. We're 6th in the league and we're in the Europa League, and it's just I go back to when we reached the Europa League semi-finals, and we did nothing in that January transfer window. And I remember we finished 7th and got to semi-finals of the Europa League, and it was a decent season, but it felt like the opportunity to turn it into a great one was there in January, and we didn't take it. And I feel like history is repeating itself a little bit, where we're in a really good position. Let's kick on. And we've decided actually now we'll kick on in the summer.
Yeah.
But if between now and the end of the season doesn't go as well as we hope, there could be no European football next season. So the sex appeal of West Ham will actually be lesser in July than it is in January, because at least now we've got European football to offer. Whereas in July we might not, because we didn't bring anybody in to. Well, we had.
I think I agree. I think that's my big problem. And I think we've come. I think when you look at us as being a slow-moving side in general when it comes to these things, the fact that everyone else hasn't been doing anything has meant that we've been even slower, because we need people to buy from us in order to get money to then go out and do these things, but no one wants to spend any money, and so we're looking at someone going, oh, this player might go with a loan with the option to buy. Well, that's not going to help us now. Like, sure, that's fine for Kara going out, and I still think that was a good move, but at the end of the day, like, that's not going to help us get someone now, and then we're having to then at the end of it figure it out as it goes. And it's just it's that slow moving nature of everything. It's just this whole window's just been negative for more so for us than I think for other teams, because of how slow we are. And I'm sure we'll get into this fully tomorrow at 9 a.m. when we do the debrief show. Oh, tonight, it's a great point. We will get into this fully later on. I completely forgot about that in the stream later, but like, it's just not beneficial. But it's not dampened my excitement for this game, because we still at least have Calvin Phillips, and I do think
I'm trying to use the game as a distraction. Truth be told, I'm trying to focus on the game to forget about and we'll deal with that after later on and whatever. Before I disappear, have you got your bingo card ready?
Well, I was going to say, not only do I have that to distract me, I also have my match bingo card in front of me to distract me.
Right, read out 5 things that you need. Just so people know, Match Bingo above Charlie's head, just sponsoring every build-up show and Watchalong for the rest of the season. You can download the app via the description below. It's free to download, free to sign up, but it's £2 per card for the West Ham Bournemouth game tonight. You get 15 things you need to happen, and it's just like bingo. First line, second line, full house. You need to call it though. So Charlie, give me some things that you need to happen tonight.
So we've got some ones that are definitely going to happen for us. For example, free kick taken. We'll get one of those. That'll be a thing that'll happen. Throw in taken. Like I say, we love our wing play. We're going to get some of those. Then we've got some, for example, less likely ones on the West Ham side. For example, don't know if you can see what that says. That says 4th substitution made. That's not happening. That rose out of the
full house.
But equally, you look at Bournemouth side, attempted save, we're guaranteed to. With Kudus and Bowen, we're going to get a shot from range easy. So there's some stuff on there that's doable, 100%.
For those of you sticking with Charlie during the watch along, he will be updating you as he goes playing Match Bingo. Like I said, you can get involved and let us know how you get on in the live chat as you go if you have things that happen. I'm going to disappear now, but I'll be back at half time for a chit chat with Charlie while he goes for a piss. Well, that's the truth, isn't it? Before, what's your score prediction, Charlie, before I disappear?
I'm going to say a big, exciting 0-0 draw.
I'm going to say 2-2. I'm going to say I can't see 0-0. I think there's goals in this one.
I can't see us scoring 2.
Bowen and Kudus have got a goal each in them.
Yeah, it's just who's going to get the ball to him?
Bournemouth are not good at defending set pieces. I'm going to say I'll be more precise, right? I'll be more precise. I'm going to say 2-2. I'm going to say Kudus and Souček score, and it'll be a Souček header. I'll be very precise.
I respect it.
Be very precise. So, anyway, Walsh, I'll see you at halftime.
Should see you at halftime, sir. Thank you, Gio, and thank you all for joining. Hope you're all well. Welcome to the watch along. First one in a hot minute. It's West Ham versus Bournemouth, brought to you by Match Bingo. There we go. And I have something stupid to show you. Well, we'll do it once the game kicks off. But first of all, let's start as we always do by asking you how confident you are on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible. How confident are you of a West Ham result this evening? And while you do that, let's have a look at the lineup, shall we? Now, I did not fix this beforehand because I'm silly like that. Let's just press the button and hope it works. I've just pressed some others to see if it will. I'm just good at stuff, aren't I? West Ham lineup as such. We have, in fact, let me do. Let's just. There we go. Wasn't that fun? West Ham lineup as such. Areola starts in goal with Ben Johnson, Bele, Mavropanos, Zuma, and Emerson in defence. We have Alvarez, Phillips, Ward-Prowse, and Souček in some form, alongside Kudus and Jared Bowen. again, I'm staying positive about it because realistically, I'm excited to see Calvin Phillips play. I think he could, if we get what I know Phillips can do, could be transformational for this team. In a big way. And when we have all of our players fit, being able to switch out these four and pick and choose which ones we want to play in which game, and Calvin Phillips bringing something that none of those other guys do, which is big passing range, really big passing range. Alvarez, good passer. Phillips, unreal passer. Ward-Prowse, functional. Souček, the less said, the better, right? That brings a whole different feel to it. However, when I look at the players on the pitch, specifically starting today, it's kind of difficult to see what this is going to be outside of James Ward-Prowse being put out onto the left-hand side to do a Paqueta-esque job. And I don't see that working, which is kind of why I said to Gio, I don't see us scoring 2 goals. I don't particularly see them scoring. I think we'll do all right defensively, but... you know, outside of that. The bench, though, is interesting, at least. Fabianski, Ogbonna, Ings, Cresswell, Cornet, Orford, Mubama, Casey, and Scarles, in case you wanted that in positional order. Fabianski, Ogbonna, and Casey are the centre-back options. You've got Cresswell and Scarles on the left. Orford as a central midfielder. Cornet, obviously a winger. Danny Ings and Mubama as your striking options. Bournemouth lineup as such. Neto, not that one. Neto, the one who used to be in goal for Barcelona for a bit, starts in goal with Smith, Zambani, Sensi, and Kelly in defence. They've got Cook and Christie in midfield alongside Semenyo and Scott Tavernier, and of course up front Dominic Solanke, West Ham target for a while. Their bench being Travers, I know it's quite small. Travers, Kirkesh, Mepham, Kilkenny, Fleury, Billing, Kinsey Wellings, Sinistera, and Justin Kluivert. Those are the 2 teams today. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting because I do not know how we're going to line up at all. I suspect it will be what I'm saying. I suspect it will be the sort of 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, however you want to look at it, with James Ward-Prowse being put out onto the left-hand side. And then you have Alvarez sitting deep, and you have a mixture of Thomas Souček and Calvin Phillips doing the sort of shuttle runs. I suspect what it's going to be. I'm not super keen on it, but it is what it is, and it's putting a lot of pressure on Kudus and Bowen. Thankfully, they're very, very good players, and if 2 people can do it, it's them 2. But at the same time, it's putting a lot on them. So goals, I think, will be difficult for us to come by today. However, I do think defensively we should at least work out. And I'm really interested because we're going to be playing counter-attacking football. We know how Moyes sets up. We're going to be seeing Moyes ball. It's what we're going to know. It's what we know. It's what David Moyes knows. It's what these players know. It's what's going to happen. That Calvin Phillips long passing into quick running Mohamed Kudus and Jarrod Bowen counter-attacks could be absolutely lethal, but it's going to be difficult to find it. However, let's have a look at some of your confidence levels, because I'm at a 6.5-ish, somewhere like that. Good to see you, Alex. The stupid thing will be coming soon when the game kicks off. However, Robert Fingers is going for an 8. Intax is going for a 5, a strong 8, 7, 7, 8. You haven't got... No, I do not have that. I'll read out fully what I have on my match bingo card in a few moments time, potentially, so we know. 7, 8, 4, 8, 6... slippery 8. We also have Dan Kelly's going with a 5, 5, 8. Good to see Chuck. Very confident. You love to see it, Chuck. You love to see it. I love an injection of confidence in there. 6. Steve, hope roads treat you well, my bro. Is saying 7 tonight, mate. Glenn has gone with a 6. All is well with me, Toby. I'm a bit tired, but apart from that, all is well for me. And I'm not ill for once. The clearly effects of match bingo. 9, 8, 5, 7, 4, 6, 4. So it's a mixture. Starboy has returned, Daniel. We're very happy about that. It's a mixture of confident. 8 millions as Celtic, for example, whereas Dylan gone with a 4. It's a mixed bag of confidence levels, which you have to respect. 2 cubed is 8. So that's nice. You love to see it from March, right? It's quite high. Like I said, it's mixed, but I can understand that because it is very difficult to figure out exactly which way this one's going to go. I think it's quite difficult. So, for example, with Jake saying 0, I might not go that low, but I could appreciate a low score. For example, Tom coming in with the minus 3.14257. Shout out to Pi. Whereas Fluffy coming in with a 5.6 recurring. 5.6666666666, etc. Or as the old calculators would say, 6666667, because they didn't know what they were doing. Which I respect. But yeah, we'll see how it ends up going. Bournemouth do have some players who are notable to be scared of. But then again, so do we. And it makes it really, it's very difficult. It's fair. I'm struggling with this one. But I am excited for it at the same time. It's a mixture of emotions. Thatcher, there we go. I was, pull the curtain back. It's not even your name. It was the TH, and my brain was auto-completing it to E every single time without fail. Bad for me. Great to see Ben Johnson starting an uncut diamond, give him a run. I'm very excited to see Bele go wild. I can't lie to you. I'm very excited for Ben Johnson. I think he's been really, really good when he's been playing recently. Shows a lot of energy, and I think he deserves it. Whether or not it goes well for him, I don't know. But I think he deserves it. I've always wanted him to stay because he's a West Ham Youth Academy person, and I want all of our Youth Academy people to stay and do as well as humanly possible. Having said that, I understood the arguments for people saying maybe potentially wasn't good enough. My argument was always, well, let's really see if he can kick on and make it, because I think there have been question marks, understandably. And I think recently he's been putting some of those to bed, and I really hope that can continue, because I love the guy. I can't lie. Tommy's saying I'd like to see Sean Moore on the bench at one point. Is he the one did he score this week when they won 3-0? Was he one of the ones who scored? I think it was him. I might be wrong about that. Can't remember exactly. Not a firepower on the pitch. Can't see a no. Yeah, I just can't see it. My argument, Schizo, is this. Good to see you, by the way. I hope you are. My argument is this. I can't see us. I think we're going to struggle to score, because I don't think we have enough. I don't see how with James Ward-Prowse, if it was Paquetá on the left, if it was Fornals on the left, I feel very differently. But with James Ward-Prowse potentially on the left, and the way I'm seeing it playing out, becomes a very difficult question. But I also think we're going to do well defensively. That's my argument for it. But I might be swayed. As we go forward. I should say, by the way, that we aim for 300 likes every one of these streams. If you could like the video massively, if you could not like it massively, if you could like it, it would help us out massively, even. Because we've been doing really well at those recently, and I really want to keep up, because we're already over 300. And if we can get even higher, I mean, I can't remember what the last one ended up at, but we were absolutely destroying it at one point. And while you're down there, make sure to download Match Bingo, because I'll be going through my match card. Probably when the game kicks off, I'll be going through my match card. And they're seeing truly what we're going to need. Because I think it's going to be, there's some possible ones there as well. So Midfield United, MLJ, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. We're just going to keep putting more and more in eventually, and at some point it's going to stop. Here's the thing. I don't care about him. Here's what I'll say in general. I shouldn't say that after you've made that comment, but I'm going to. He's fine. But I don't. My girlfriend wakes up before I do, because she actually works for a living. You know what I mean? And is not freelance like me. So when she comes in the morning, she finds it terrifying if he's there, because it makes her jump. So after the stream, he does get put away, because otherwise it's not a fun time. John, good to see you. Does he say good evening? I've tried to click my comment 3 times. It's not worked. But John, good to see you, sir. Let's go on to Sub Bingo. Sub Bingo is the game where we predict when David Moyes will make his first sub. You don't have to include the player. We'll have those running along the bottom of the screen as we go. I'm going to go 69 minutes as per usual. The time is what counts. And I'm going to say, it has to be Cornet, I think. I think it will be Cornet for... I think it'll be Cornet for Phillips. Yeah, I think it'll be Cornet for Phillips. 69 minutes. That's what I'm going to go with. We will be getting score predictions in soon, by the way. Sim with the $2. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Your name will go up in the corner in a second. Thank you very much. And also, I should say as well, thank you to GP with the super sticker earlier. All super chats help us out on the channel massively. Not just myself, not just Gio, Gonzo as well. Helps us out as a collective. So thank you very much. Hugely, hugely appreciated. Let me just move that around. That needs to go there. That needs to go there. Right. Let's go back to this. It is on TNT Sports 2, as Fluffy Python's Back is saying. In the UK, it's on obviously Discovery Plus, TNT Sports 2. Kickoff is in about 6 minutes' time. Elsewhere in the world, I'm not certain. I'm usually try and figure out where it is so I can say it, but I can't remember where it was now. I did not have time to look it up. So if you're looking for elsewhere, lob it in chat. Maybe someone will be able to help you out. Cornet for Kudus in the 73rd minute, says Leonardo. That's kind of what I think it will be, Casey. I can't lie to you. Ings 71st minute. Welsh is a strong shout. Daz is agreeing with him. I think that's probably a fair shout. Paul says 81st minute. Ings. Unkind is saying Ings in the 80th. Lots of Ings in those sort of times, which I can see happening, but I just think Cornet has to come on for balance purposes potentially, but I don't know for certain. Again, I'm making assumptions on how we're playing. I'm also making assumptions on how it's going to go. But that's sort of what I see happening. Carl saying I like Johnson, however, I don't think long term he's a full-time starter. If we're aiming top quality, he'll be a great squad. He'll be a great sub and for cups and stuff. And I like his. I'd like a great right back to fight for him for place. Totally agree with you, Carl. 100% agree with you. I don't see Ben Johnson being a starter anytime soon. I see him being a great squad player for us going forward. And I think even if we do remain just in the sort of conversation of trying to qualify for Europe, not even if we're playing in Europe every year like we are currently, just trying to be in that conversation, I think that's really good for us. I think that's really good for us. And that's kind of that's great. Not every youth player has to be Declan Rice. Not every youth player has to be this absolute world beater. Don't get me wrong. I would prefer them to be. But if a youth player comes through and becomes a squad player for the next 10 years at West Ham, that's a massive achievement as well. And I'm very happy with that. Topher saying Mubama 88th minute. Someone else who I'd love to see get game time today. Someone else I'd love to see get game time. Phillips, Alvarez or Kudus probably not making to the 90 minutes. Yeah, Jonathan, I agree 100%. Not going to lie to you. I agree. I'll tell you what, let's go through the match bingo very quickly, right? So the teams are coming out currently, so I'll tell you what we need. So match bingo is, of course, going to be sponsoring us for the rest of the season on the Watchalongs as well as on the build-up show. It's a app that you can download, completely free to download, and you get bingo cards. You can pay for bingo cards like this. They look like this. You have West Ham, you have Bournemouth, you have the things you can do. So, for example, if I click on that one, it says throw in taken. So when we get a throw in on the West Ham side, it will tally up, and then if you get one row across, if you're the first person to get one line complete, you win £25. If you're the first person to get 2 lines across, you win £50, and if you get a full house, all of them, you get £100. It's the first person to claim them as the match is going on. So we need, from a West Ham perspective, we need 2 substitutes made. We need 4 substitutes made. That one's going to be a bit iffy for one of those. We need a free kick. We need a throw-in, both going to happen. We need a headed goal awarded, which would be a Thomas Souček special, I feel like, potentially. And as well as a goal kick taken. That one, again, probably from a certainty. From both sides, it could be either side to score during one of the 4 minutes. So it could be the 4th minute, the 14th minute, the 24th minute, etc., etc., etc. It could be a yellow card on the 4th minute, the 14th minute, 24th minute, etc., etc., etc. Edson Alvarez, I'm looking at you, please. And an injury time to kick on to 5 minutes. And then from the Bournemouth side, we need kickoff, caught offside, attempted save, 5th substitute made, free kick taken, and attempt off target. So some really doable ones here, and I'm going to be keeping you updated as we go on the match bingo card. If you're interested in getting involved, we would highly appreciate it. There is a link in the description below, which that helps us out. If you click on that and download it, helps us out a huge amount. Trust me on that. But we'll be keeping you updated on that as we go through the game. However, it's at that point where we're just a couple of moments away from kickoff, a minute and a bit. So I will ask you now for your final score predictions. No more flipping, no more flopping, no more sitting on the fence. I want you to lob your predictions in the chat, and we will lock them in, ladies and gentlemen. Once more, if you were just joining us, I'll run through the lineups just very quickly. Areola starts in goal for West Ham alongside Johnson, Mavropanos, Zuma and Emerson. There is some sort of midfield, including Alvarez, Phillips, Souček and Ward-Prowse, with Kudus and Bowen being the big outlets up front. Bournemouth have arrived at the London Stadium with a side of Neto, Smith, Zabani and Sensi and Kelly in defence. Cook, Christie, Semenyo, Scott, Tavernier, and then, of course, Dominic Solanke up front. The danger man. The benches, just in case you haven't seen them: West Ham's Fabianski, Ogbonna, Casey, Cresswell, Scarles, Orford, Cornet, Ings and Mubama. And then Bournemouth's is Travers, Kirkesh, Mepham, Kilkenny, Fevre, that's how I'm going to keep saying it, Billing, Kensey Willings, Sinistera and Patrick Kluivert. Justin Kluivert. It's Justin Kluivert. Close up shot from Calvin Phillips. Of course, when we get underway, I'll tell you there is a timer in the top corner here, which will say exactly how far behind you I'll be. It'll be just slightly far behind you, I suspect. Not gonna lie, because I'm watching it. Although I am watching it, I'm not in North Idaho today. I'm of course in London, and as much as I am watching it legally on Discovery Plus, TNT Sports 2. That is until the WWE goes to Netflix. That is. It'll always be like a minute behind. So I will be about a minute behind. However, there is a time in the top corner which will say exactly how far behind I will be. I'm looking forward to it. It's West Ham versus Bournemouth. It's big, and I'm hyped. Let's have a look at some of your score predictions very quickly. What we got? So Stephen's going with a 2-1 to the Irons. M. Collingwood 3-1 guaranteed. West Ham are going to kick off. Let me just do this. West Ham to kick off. Jared Bowen to do it. Deploy the boys. Come on, you Irons. It's time to run 2 Tigs indeed. We're underway. We're underway, ladies and gentlemen. Just look. So far, it looks exactly how I would expect it to be. Exactly how I would expect it to be. Although Thomas Souček is further forward, so maybe... We'll see, but Kudus is definitely on the right. Jared Bowen is up front. It looks like Thomas Souček's in the 10 with James Ward-Prowse on the left. That's what it looks like right now. We'll see how it plays out. M. Collingwood's going with a 3-1. 65 minutes. Red card for Phillips is final. Stress, my friend. Stress. 3-0. 2-1. 2-1. Sorry, 2-0. 2-0. 2-2. 3-0. 1-1. 3-1. 3-1. 3-1. 3-1. Not sure. Not sure what he's wearing, but it wouldn't surprise me. 3-2 says Steve, and Steve has gone with a 3-1. Robert Singleton's gone with a 34. Could be a sub bingo. It feels like a sub bingo. Let's go with 34, Rob, and stress. Or a 3-4, which stress, because that means Bournemouth winning. 3-0, boys, easy. 3-2, 3-1, 3-1 to us. Irons, 3-2, 4-1, win, 3-2, 2-2, 2-1. And we'll see how it goes from there. But yeah, I'm Jeremy Pipe. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Can't lie, Dave. Welcome to my world. But yeah, I'll stick with my 0-0. I think 1-1's more likely. I should say. I think 1-1 is more likely. I thought that the second I said 0-0. However, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. 2 or 3-1 to the Irons. 3-1. It's a good mixture today. There's a lot of confidence in winning, but a lot of good mixture today. Richard, good to see you. It does seem though. 29-0. Stress, Stephen. It does seem that it's going to be exactly what we thought. It does seem like you're going to get that double pivot of Alvarez and Calvin Phillips with James Ward-Prowse sort of further afield as the left-hand side player. That Lucas Paquetá role. Kudus wide on the right-hand side. Jared Bowen down the middle. And then Thomas Souček storming up through the middle. 7-0. Bold, Alex. Bold. But I'm really intrigued to see how Calvin Phillips gets on here. Zuma probably should have passed to him about 8 minutes earlier there. And that's a goal for Bournemouth. Oh, he's offside. Thank Christ for that. That was basically self-inflicted from Kurt Zuma. That was absolutely woeful from him. I think offside has been called because the referee's whistle's gone. The camera zoomed in on Calvin Phillips, but that was 100% Kurt Zuma. He should have received... I don't know why he didn't play the ball to Calvin Phillips minutes earlier than that. Ball gets played back to him from James Ward-Prowse, who's under a bit of pressure. Zuma looks up, sees Calvin Phillips, and for some reason takes forever to pass it back to him. And it's a hospital pass as well, to the point where it's just a single touch from... I'm not sure who that is who dives in. Is it Christie? Dives in. And then Dominic Solanke slots it home. Is that going to go to VAR, by the way? Because that's going to stand if it does. If that's going to VAR, that's going to stand. Because I'm not certain that the Bournemouth player... got a touch on that. I think it was Calvin Phillips who got the last touch into Dominic Solanke. Yeah, VAR check is going to happen. I am certain that this is going to be a goal for Bournemouth. Because I don't think a Bournemouth player got a touch on that. I think Calvin Phillips is the last person on touch. Yeah, Bournemouth get the goal. 1-0, Dominic Solanke with the goal. Kurt Zuma has basically just given them a goal. There's going to be some talk about about Calvin Phillips in that, but I don't think he's got anything to blame on that. I think that is purely a Kurt Zuma goal. That is awfully done. Why the hell has he done that? Why has he done that? That's god awful from Kurt Zuma, and the pass was terrible. Part of me wants to say that that's the problem with playing a different footed person in that position, but that's woeful. That is truly, truly woeful. Well, yeah, I mean, we've not really got the people on the pitch to do it, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It stands. It's 1-0. It's 1-0 Bournemouth. That was... What? 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 Calvin Phillips, welcome to West Ham. You've been sold horrendously short, my friend. Horrendously short. Awful. Awful, awful, awful. Well, okay, so 5 minutes in, it's 1-0. 5 minutes in, it's 1-0 from a piece of absolutely terrible play. Let's have a look, actually. What's that mean for the match bingo? Because we had some 4 minutes, and I don't know if it's going to count as 4 minutes because it was earlier. Ooh! We have some ticked off. So, look, it might have been a bad time, but we have got free kick taken, we have got throw-in taken, and we have got caught offside. So we're starting in the train. Whipped in from the free kick from Bournemouth. It bounces back to 25, who hits it. Over. Ben already slanders us. It was not on the bingo. Not wrong. Not on the bingo. Senesi, or whatever his name is. Oh, really well done there from Ben Johnson into the path of Thomas Souček, who nice first time pass, finds Mohamed Kudus, and he charges forward. Kudus can't quite do anything with it, but the play was nice. We're going to have to cover a little bit as they come back forward, but it's a nice little play down from Mavropanos. Nice little play down from Mavropanos. When conceding first, the 7 times we've conceded first in the Premier League this season, we've won 2 and we've lost 5. Not good. Not good. The 3-1 is still on. The 3-1 is still on. The 0-0 is off. The 0-0 is off. We can say that with certainty. We can say that with certainty. Big ping forward again. Well cut out there from Ben Johnson. Tries to ping it forward. He does it. It hits off Mohamed Kudus. It's going to be a throw-in, but it's well done from Ben Johnson there. I can't get over how awful that was from Kurt Zouma, by the way. I know I keep speaking about it, but I cannot get over it. It was god awful. It was god awful. As many you can. Let's be real. First of all, great Borderlands reference. Second of all, you can have as many defenders and midfielders as you want on the pitch. It does not help you when Kurt Zouma decides to just give them a goal. Both players pushing each other over at this stage. Tavernier running it out of play. Ben Johnson does well defensively. It's going to be a throw to us. Throw it to us. I don't think elbow is much. I respect it as much as I respect it. I don't think that one's got anything to do with Calvin Phillips. That was all Kurt Zouma for me. That was god awful. What was Calvin Phillips going to do there? He was in position to collect the ball literally about 5 seconds plus before Kurt Zouma decided to pass to him. And when Kurt Zouma eventually does pass to him, the pass is awful. He didn't have the chance to. The Bournemouth player was on him by the time the ball got to his feet. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's entirely blameless. Go, call for the ball, ask for it. If the ball comes, try and chase it in quicker when you're in those dangerous positions, passing across your box. It's when you learn how to be a defender when you're a kid. One of the first things they teach you: do not pass across your own box. So when the ball comes across there, you've got to chase it. You've got to go into it. That's not to say he's completely blameless. But Kurt Zouma is so significantly more to blame. It is such terror. It's god awful play. God awful play. Like completely woeful. Like, what are you doing? Again, first of all, when you learn to be a defender, what do they tell you? Do not pass across your box. So why is he doing that? Second of all, Calvin Phillips is in space a long time before he even considers passing the ball to him under no pressure. Kurt Zouma, don't know why he does. When he finally does it, he's taken so long to find the ball to him. He's taken so long that a player's on top of him. Then he fluffs the pass, completely undersells it to Calvin Phillips, and it's so easy. It's just terrible play from him. He's so at fault for that. That's not to say Calvin Phillips has nothing to say about it, but it's so different. Yeah, again, Adrian's making another good point. There is some question marks about Areola and his call there. He should be the one barking out orders, clear, playing it in. I'm watching. What is he doing? What? I'm just watching Kurt Zuma again. He's standing there. We've just seen a replay of it. He's standing there having a good old think about what to do. What are you doing, man? I mean, it's not his style of football, is it? Let's be real. Ben Johnson, nice little foot in there. I'm not entirely certain how he's lost that ball, but he has. That's an awful pass from Christie. Let's go. Let's go. Unfortunately, it's at the feet of James Ward-Prowse, but he does nice to turn it out and then into the path of Calvin Phillips. Out wide to Mohamed Kudus. Wide on the right-hand side. Ben Johnson on the overlap. Picks it up. He's in that corner quadrant. He's going to go for the cross. It's not a bad cross. It's cleared away at the first attempt, but it wasn't a bad cross. It's going to be a throw-in. I assume Zuma's playing on the... I assume even Zuma's playing on the left because of Aged still not back. That's my assumption anyway. Ben Johnson loses out on the ball. There we go. I have not. I'm about to. I need to figure out how I'm actually going to do it. Is it this one? Let me see if this works. As it goes out for a goal kick. Let's do this. I don't know how this works. That should. Next time the ball goes out of play, we'll do it. So annoying, man. That's so annoying. Whereas Paqueta, apparently, he's not fit yet, I don't think, Simon. I think he was close, but just not close enough. I think he was close, but just not close enough. Big ping forward. Kurt Zuma heads that one away. Alvarez, just a long leg, tries to flick it away. We've done well to keep possession of the ball there. Thomas Souček getting involved in the 10 position. Again, this is kind of why you don't want him there, but we've kept possession of the ball anyway. Alvarez is charged. Emerson's charged forward with it. Out wide to Bowen. He tries to cross the ball and it deflects. It's going to be a corner. It's going to be a corner. Burger King. Huge. Huge. Jack, please. Ricardo. Good to see you. How are you, sir? I can't remember what hello is in Portuguese, so I'll just go, hello, sir. Whipped in from the corner, James Ward-Prowse into that normal area. Of course, it doesn't go well. Is that going to be another one or a goal kick? That's going to be a goal kick. Right. To celebrate, I was talking to my girlfriend about our new sponsor, Match Bingo. And to celebrate, she came up with an incredibly dumb idea. An amazing idea, in my opinion. And that is a Watchalong bingo card, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't know if you can see. Let's just move this slightly. So, we have a Watchalong bingo card here. As you can see, sub after 90 minutes. Moyes in-out debate in chat. Big plays being said. Off topic for more than 5 minutes. Claps. Very excited. Danny falls over. Beard mentioned in chat. Charlie almost falls over, which she came up with, and her exact words were, "That seems likely." Don't know how I feel about that. Belay, obviously. Deploy the boys. Bell pole fails. Someone wins. Match bingo on their phone. There's a free square in the center, of course. Horseshoe. Video game mentions instantaneously be says, which is something I say all the time. Chat asks to show the match. I scratch my nose, which I do a lot. North Idaho mentioned failed troll in chat. That happens a lot. Danny Ings scores. You love to see it be said. A baby bell, food chat, and then sub, of course, on the 69th minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post that in chat. I'm going to post the link to that in chat. And if you want, you can play along. If you want, you can play along. Get involved. Of course, this is in celebration of our match bingo sponsor. Good ball from Kudus into the path of Bowen. He's a little bit too slow. He can't get on the end of that. If Ings fall over, does that count? It does not count. Only if he scores. And you can play along in chat. There is a link in chat for you there. Big streaming forwards from Bournemouth. They haven't got the numbers though, and they're forced to recycle possession. This is, of course, in honour of our match sponsor, Match Bingo. Big shot from range from Bournemouth. It was very, very far away, and from Lewis Cook, and Areola was always happy to watch that. Free space. Something about wrestling. Something about wrestling probably should have been on there as well. And I should give a massive shout out not only to my girlfriend who did the actual work to make that happen, and also came up with some of those as well. A lot of those, if we're being honest. Big shout out as well to Dean and to Alex, the Timeless podcast, who you should subscribe to, who actually helped as well. I messaged them and was like, yo, do you have anything that can go on here? Because I know they watch it and we talk. And they gave me some amazing ideas. So shout out to them. Subscribe to the Timeless podcast on YouTube, obviously. And go and follow Dean on Twitter, on X, however you want to call it. Dean Marsh. And listen to his latest ISO mix, which is it's an absolute banger. I've been listening to it while I was working the other day. But yeah, there you go. It's in chat. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And from here on out, I'm going to be playing along with that one as well. I'm playing along with 2 bingo cards. Thankfully, one of them is automatic, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Getting shot of Pablo Fornals on the bench. I'm not okay to see Pablo Fornals on the bench like this. Not obviously included because he seems to be about to join Betis. And the fact he's there, I don't want to see him. I'm not okay with him leaving, if I'm being honest. Throw in taken on the left-hand side for us. Emerson goes down. No free kick, apparently. That felt like quite an obvious one. We've won the ball back shot from range from Calvin Phillips. If it was James Ward-Prowse, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. I think that should have been a free kick. I'm not really sure how it wasn't. Calvin Phillips getting forward into those aggressive positions he did with England, takes a shot from range, but it was straight into the hands of Neto. That one was very easy, if we're being honest. Free kick, this time to Bournemouth from the halfway line. Tame shot, but we take it. We'll get there. It's, it's warming up. First time we played Bournemouth earlier in the season, they were obviously, it was much earlier in Iriola's reign, and I felt like it was better the earlier we play him, the better in that sense, because they were only going to get better as time went on, and we sort of caught them when they weren't really ready. They're a much better side now than they were, but I still think they're eminently beatable. I just don't think we have the attacking output on the pitch. Like James Ward-Prowse as the left winger is my big problem. Because I don't mind what I really like Paqueta on the left this season. I think he's been utterly brilliant on the left, which is impressive because if you told me him on the left before this season, I would have been dead set against it, because every time I've seen him play on the left before, then it's been bad. But this season, he's been utterly brilliant out there. Semenyo gets forward. It's a big deflection. I thought I was going in for a second from the camera angle. It's going to be a corner instead to Bournemouth. But James Ward-Prowse just doesn't have that passing. He doesn't have that ingenuity. He doesn't have that defensive quality. If anything, Pablo Fornals is the guy who should be doing that role for us today. But obviously, because he's moving to Betis, he can't do it. So I just don't see the attacking. I just don't see where we're going to get goals from. We're just sort of hoping we can get the ball forward, but it really doesn't feel right for us. I think Cornet should have started today, but I don't blame Moyes for not starting him because I don't particularly rate Cornet that highly, but I think he should have started. Little short corner routine from Scott, whips it into a really dangerous area, and thank Christ the header in the end is directly down the throat of Areola, an easy catch, but my flipping God. Bournemouth's high press is causing us problems. We're panicking. We don't look comfortable passing it out. We're trying to pass it out a little bit, and it's just not happening for us right now. Kurt Zuma gets involved with the header away. It's not a header from Bournemouth in the end. It deflects off Dominic Slanky's hand, so it probably wouldn't have stood anyway. But yeah, their high press is causing us some issues. We don't really seem too comfortable passing it around at the moment because, well, realistically, we only really have arguably one super comfortable passer in our back line. That one being Mavropanos. Kurt Zuma's not a particularly good passer. We've already seen that. He's fine, but he's nothing to write home about. Ben Johnson, same. He's serviceable. Emerson, he's not a great, but he's a serviceable passer. Brilliant going forward, dribbler, all of that stuff, which should help us alleviate the pressure. But from the passing side, it is what it is. And we keep finding ourselves, especially down that right-hand side, just forcing ourselves into punting it. It's just not, I don't know, it's just not happening for us. I don't mind. I'm not. I don't really care about. I think the. It's difficult because this is a game that suits Thomas Suchek in that, as Gio was saying in the build up, right? Bournemouth are the worst team or one of the worst teams at conceding goals from set pieces in the league, right? So from corners, let's just bombard it and get Suchek in there. However, from our best starting 11 out of players that are fit currently, it's very clear to me that James Ward-Prowse should be down the middle in the 10 position. You have Alvarez and Phillips, and then you have Cornet on the left. And this is coming from someone who doesn't particularly rate Cornet. But I think that's obvious to me. But with Suchek, you sort of have to play him because of their weaknesses. It's annoying. It's annoying. I'll say this. Ingenuity, I'll say this. Tranquilo, my G. Look, I don't mind you coming in and saying people are wrong for Calvin Phillips. For example, I don't think Calvin Phillips was at fault for the goal. But let's not start pinging in shots too much, yeah? Because I don't want to get beef going in the chat. You know what I mean? Welcome to hang around, see how Calvin Phillips does, get involved, all for it. Don't want to start beef. Oh, I haven't even been looking at the boxes. Calvin Phillips is an easy foul on Alex Scott, to be honest. It's an easy foul on him. It'll be a free kick to Bournemouth from about just in front of the halfway line, just in front of the centre circle halfway line area. They lay it short as expected and then ping it in. I think that deflects. Looks like a deflection off Ben Johnson there. Stops it from being able to go out. He's just forcing the Bournemouth player into awkward positions he doesn't want to be in. Just chasing shadows a little bit. And that's a really nice outside boot pass to get it out of trouble there from Bournemouth. But laid short there is Alex Scott. Pings an easy header away from Mavropanos. It's going to be another corner. It's going to be another corner. Not an ideal game so far, if we're being honest. Not an ideal game call at all. Whipped in. Header goes high and wide. Where are we at on the match bingo one? We're quite far ahead. Someone's already claimed the one line on 25. Someone's already claimed the one line on the £25, by the way. We're getting there. We've had a goal kick. We've had a throw in from a Bournemouth perspective. We've had an attempt saved. We've had a free kick taken. We've had an attempt off target and an offside. How's someone already got £25? How's someone got that one line already? Fuming. Big punt forward offside for us. Easy as you like. Easy as you like. That's very awkward from Bournemouth, putting him under a little bit of pressure. Go on, Thomas. It's not your thing. Good work, Thomas. Good work, Suchek. It's not his thing. Not his thing, but it is what it is. Don't like the tone of the commentators there mocking the Conference League, by the way, but still. Good front pressing there. Jared Bowen just chasing the ball. Thomas Suchek getting involved. He's not that great at pressing from the front line, Thomas Suchek. James Ward-Prowse is much better at it, but he does well there. Calvin Phillips just gets a touch. Again, activates us, pushes us in that forward position. It's a nice ball out, though, there to Semenyo. Cook controls it, and Bournemouth try to start passing their way out. There was a bit of a press there, but it's not really worked out. Thomas Suchek again getting involved there, pushing it forward. But Bournemouth looking relatively comfortable passing around. It's not the best press you've ever seen in your life. I guess one of the positives is that Alvarez has been done there. It's one of the positives to having thankfully it's a terrible pass, but Alvarez got done there. I think one of the positives to having both Alvarez and Calvin Phillips is it means that you can have. It means that you can when Alvarez sort of loses his head a bit and starts charging forward to try and start pressing and getting involved in that stuff, and it's a terrifying moment. You at least have Calvin Phillips who's still there to do some of that screening work. Still there to do some of the screening work. Ben, do you know what? Genuinely, it's not an awful idea. It's not an awful idea. I never thought I would say bringing on Danny Ings for West Ham is not an awful idea yet. We're sort of there. Yeah, it was very weird, OG. It was very weird. Not biting. Not biting. I will bite eventually because I'm hungry, but I'm not biting yet. Ben Johnson looks to try and collect it. Does. Clears it away again. That press is just reducing our options. And especially I'm noticing it a lot down our right hand side because we want to get Kudus on the ball and they're just crowding him out every single time. It's very frustrating. Again, I don't necessarily disagree with James. Good to see you, by the way. Hope you are. I don't necessarily disagree with you, bro. Don't necessarily disagree. It would have to be James Ward-Prowse to come off. Because you can't have a double pivot of Alvarez and James Ward-Prowse. That's just suicidal. James Ward-Prowse cannot play as a 6. He just cannot. He's awful at it. It's like getting all of his good side and just deleting it apart from taking corners and just highlighting all of his badness. Yeah, James Ward-Prowse as a left winger is not going well so far. Emerson lays it short to Jarabone. He's come across on that left-hand side to build up. There's the first real Calvin Phillips spray of the day. You love to see it. That's a beautiful diag. Beautiful diag into to Ben Johnson. Nothing comes of it, but just that ability to switch play significantly quicker is a huge, huge positive. Kurt Zuma again, not passing to Calvin Phillips for some reason there. And deciding to charge forward with the ball like he's prime Harry Maguire. Again, Calvin Phillips is just picking up interesting spaces in the middle, and we're just not utilising it. Ben Johnson is. Again, first time ball over the top. It's not a bad idea for a through ball. We're going to throw it off it. Give the ball to Phillips more. I don't understand why we're not doing it. Every time he does it, he's finding these passes forward and they're good. I don't understand why we're not doing it more often. Quick throw in. Jarabone would have wanted that to come back to him from Alvarez. Doesn't quite happen. Kudus tries to whip a cross in. Tries to do that little shimmy, drop a shoulder and whip it in on a strong foot. Doesn't quite work out. Johnson lays it short. Kudus can't do anything with it. Kudus isn't having a good game either. I think he's being marked out of the game. Don't get me wrong, but he's not having a good game. That's the side of Zuma that's good. Ball got played forward there, just a chest down, and then plays a simple pass out. That's what he's good at. Just dealing with stuff like that when it's high up in the air. Not what he was doing before, which was whatever the hell that was. 28 minutes into the game. I genuinely, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this, right? But genuinely, I think he's doing okay. I think he's doing all right. Every time he gets the positions he's taking up, I need to look at his defensive positioning a bit more. But the positions he's taking up when we have the ball, I think are interesting. The balls he's playing, I think, are quite good. You know, I might be being too lenient on him potentially because it's his first time, but I think he's doing okay. I think we need to utilize his passing more. That's a big upside for him. Get him the ball, get him passing it around. Because those couple of times there, he's collecting the ball, pinging first time into good space. Second time, picks up the ball, looks up, sees a big crossfield diag to Ben Johnson. Lovely play. Utilize that more. Otherwise, he's just sort of, what's he here for? Good pressure from Garburn. It's not worked out for us, but it's a good pressure. I do think this. I do think we need. I don't know. Nice layoff from Jared Bowen. Yeah, James Ward-Prowse is probably going to have to come off. Again, I mean, maybe. Or maybe it's Calvin Phillips. Either Calvin Phillips or James Ward-Prowse have to come off. One of the two of them have to. It's probably got to be, maybe Thomas Souček. It's got to be one of those three. It has to be one of those three. Basically, what I'm saying is Cornet has to come on. Emerson does well by himself, trying to flick the ball over, getting all Brazilian about it. Not quite working out. James Ward-Prowse charging back on Semenyo, and then Edson Alvarez with a very clumsy tackle from behind gives away a free kick. This is my opinion. This is my opinion, but you know. I think you have to take off one of those three. I think you have to get Cornet on, right? How you do that, I'm kind of open to. You can take off Phillips. You can put Souček back into the 6th position alongside Alvarez. You put James Ward-Prowse in the 10, and then you bring on Cornet on the left. That's fine. You could just do a straight swap for James Ward-Prowse on the left with Cornet. I'm fine with that. A little bit less, but I'm fine with that. Because I don't particularly enjoy Souček in the 10. I think he's doing okay today. But I think taking off Souček's a difficulty. Bournemouth can't quite find their way through, which I think is also a thing. You've sort of got to keep him there. You go. Ben Johnson streaming forward. Come on. Oh, Bele. Oh, he hit the little flick with the back. Bro, our fullback's feeling hella Brazilian right now. A little chop. A little Ronaldo chop from Bele. Right, here we go. Attack down the left-hand side. Don't pass it backwards, man. Edson Alvarez. It was a nice diag. It doesn't work out. It's a nice diag, but still. Kudus fighting off two men. Too many men. Too many men. Good to see you, sir. How are you? So annoyed, by the way. 2 for 2 wrong. 2 for 2 wrong. Fuming on my predictions for the Royal Rumble. Still. I did just shout the word Bele. I did just shout the word Bele. Just naturally. I saw him chop. It just came out. Free kick to us. Thank you very much. Alex Scott on Calvin Phillips. Haven't enjoyed the referee's performance today, I can't lie, but I did just like that incredulous he gave to whatever the player said. Love a bit of that. Free kick, James Ward-Prowse to take it. Wide on the right-hand side. It's essentially just a deep corner. It's an awful free kick. Nowhere close to anyone. Emerson just sort of hooks it back towards goal. Neto collects it. I know, I think he's a good player, but it's just you have to. He's such a specific player, and it's not just about the like upside he gets from corners and all that sort of stuff. There's also just the fact that he's such a specific player in terms of you put him in that sort of 10 position for us specifically. You might be able to do something different with other teams, but you put him in that 10 position in a 4-3-3, maybe involved in a 3, just someone with no real defensive responsibilities, just about sort of pressing and stuff like that. He comes alive. Everywhere else doesn't seem to happen. I am reluctant to criticise him today because he's playing so completely out of position in a way which doesn't even begin to make sense to me. Having said that, he's playing crap. Having said that, he's been crap. Yeah, I think, do you know what? Where is it? I just saw it there. Ionix saying the same thing. James Ward-Prowse doesn't seem to be a threat anymore. I agree with that, and I think there needs to be long. We don't have a free kick coach, as far as I'm aware, or a corner coach, or a set piece coach like big teams have, or other teams have in the Premier League. We don't have one of those, as far as I'm aware. But our set piece routines are god awful. I don't think we have any good set piece routines whatsoever. I think it's only served to really highlight that fact with James Ward-Prowse. I think when we had Craig Dawson, it was sort of almost a cheat code because he was just so big and powerful. You just sort of punt it at him. You had you had Craig Dawson, you had Thomas Souček, like those guys in there who could just come in and just battering ram their way through. Outside of that, I think it's just kind of pointless. I think we just don't have it in us. And I think this season we've been really exposed. It just exposes us massively because we have one of the best set piece takers the Premier League has ever seen, and we can't score a set piece from it. 2 and 2 should probably make 4, and they do not. In this case, they do not. They make 3. There is something missing here. Bournemouth playing it around. Tell you what, good work from Kudus there to nick that one in. Plays it back to Ben Johnson. We win a free kick from it. I would have preferred we carry on, to be honest, but we will take the free kick. Ben Johnson takes it quickly into the path of Alvarez. A little bit of an awkward pass. He holds up his hand for it. Just again, lackadaisical. That pressing's causing us problems. Solanke out to Semenyo. It's got to be 2. Good save, Areola. It was a bit too close to him. Semenyo really should have made that 2. Quick passing. Again, that pressure. Just a little bit lackadaisical in our passing. Just get it into people like Phillips who can ping the ball. Stop. We're not gonna do much from this. We're not gonna do much with this slick on the floor passing. I say slick, but a poor pass from Ben Johnson a little bit, and Alvarez gets caught out for a second time in very quick succession. Not his fault, but he does get caught out, and the ball gets played very quickly forward directly from Bournemouth into the path of Semenyo, who really should have made it 2. Good save from Areola, but really should have made it 2. The West Ham fans, home fans, getting annoyed now as Kurt Zouma again just taking his time on the ball, just standing there waiting for it. I don't know what we're waiting for. Now he's going for a big crossfield diag. It's poorly executed, but it works. There wasn't much technique to it, but it worked. Alvarez looks to try and dink it into the position wide on the left-hand side. Doesn't work. Big ball forward. Mavropanos heads it down nicely to Ben Johnson. Passing it around again. Yeah, there you go to Phillips. Watch that Phillips ping it. It's all right. It's nice into Ben Johnson who can steam forward. Nicely done from Ben Johnson. Bit of a heavy touch, but it's nicely done. Play forward to Alvarez. Nice first time pass. He's incredibly far forward, Alvarez, which is a bit of a worry, but there we go. Emerson plays it out to James Ward-Prowse. Looks to try and cross it in on his stronger foot. Lays it short to Emerson instead. This is a good position for us to do something from it. Handball claims from the crowd. I don't think it was, but that's a good ball in. Bowen. Oh! Somehow it's not in the net. Incredibly close. Ball got whipped in from James Ward-Prowse wide on that left-hand side. Puts it onto his stronger foot. Whipped into a really strong position. And it felt like just any touch would take it in. And I think Jarrod Bowen maybe gets a touch onto it. I can't tell. But it stops Jarrod Bowen again there. Tries to play it in with his strong foot. Manages to stop it from going out for a goal kick. James Ward-Prowse loses out on the ball. But from Semenyo. Booted forward. It's going to be a throw into Bournemouth deep inside their territory by the right-hand side. Incredibly close. Emerson can't get the ball in first time. James Ward-Prowse can. Whipped in. Kudus was there. I think he was offside anyway, but whipped in and it felt like any touch, and I don't think either of them got a touch, and it ends up just hitting off Neto. Incredibly close. Better from us. Worrying, but better. I really do like the way he's playing at the moment. That moment there where again we pass the ball to Calvin Phillips, and it's not some intensely genius pass, but just the flick over the top just allows Ben Johnson to have the space, and then he picks up the ball and runs into it, gets us going forward. You know, it's something we just don't have usually. I really like Ben Johnson. I really do at the moment. Whether or not that continues for long term, I don't know. But right now, I really like Ben Johnson. Flicked across to Johnson. Finds Kudus. Looks to hit on the half turn. He managed to do his man. Puts in a good ball in. And Thomas Souček was arriving under pressure. The Bournemouth player under the pressure of big Thomas Souček. Potato salad flying in. Can't get his head onto it. But Kudus does really well. Completely sends his man for dinner. And not a bad ball in. And Thomas Souček does get his head onto it. But he can't get the direction. It's going to be a goal kick. Going to be a goal kick. Pegans, thank you. It's very kind of you to say. Very kind of you to say. I don't know if I agree. I'll take it. Paquetá, denim jacket from Lucas Paquetá. No, mainly because there will be some at some point. Denim jacket from Lucas Paquetá is a bold claim. Looking like an NSYNC member from the 90s. You'll have to see it. God, do we miss that man? God, do I miss that man? Very short pass to James Ward-Prowse. He just doesn't. He's just not in. Because he's a man of the people. He's a man of the people, Richard. You know. We all look at him. He's the guy who could have gone to Manchester City, Brazilian, blah blah blah. No. He's a man of the people. He does what we do. He wears denim jackets. He eats Nando's. Dominic Slanky again, almost getting in from stupid errors, but Mavropanos just bullies him off the ball and plays it nicely into Ben Johnson, who can't quite ever get control of the ball, and Bournemouth end up winning it back. Good interception there from James Ward-Prowse, but he just has no options. He's forced to pass it back to Emerson in an awkward way, in an awkward position. Emerson and him do well, actually, to link up and get the ball moving forward. This is much better from us than that pass back to Alvarez. Our passing has been woeful. Woeful. Kudus has the ball. He gets called back for a free kick, but he still has possession of the ball and seems very frustrated at the fact we couldn't continue to play. It's just stifling from the ref. I get it, but it is just stifling. Kudus lays it out wide to Ben Johnson. Whip this one in. It's not. It's just behind everyone. It takes a mild deflection. It wasn't a great cross to begin with. James Ward-Prowse collects it on the far side. That's a nice first time. Close. Calvin Phillips goes flying in on that one. Jesus. This is much better. For the last 5 minutes, has been significantly better. Looking for the hit and run there. Doesn't quite work out because Ben Johnson's there to cut it out. Ben Johnson, of course, playing out of position at right back today. Jaffu. Jofu. I don't know. Bafu. I'm going to Bafu. I like Bafu. He's just moving centrally. Look at him. He's playing. It's an inverted fullback. We've got Calvin Phillips, and all of a sudden we're playing inverted fullbacks, just moving into that central midfield position. This is very exciting stuff. And then he's charging forward. He's the one furthest forward. You love to see it. Go on, Ben. Jurlo. Forward. Souček does what he can do from that position. The ball isn't awful, but there's no one really there. And you need Souček in those positions to attack those type of crosses. It wasn't great. We've done better in the last 5 minutes. Last 5 minutes, we've done better. Has it been good enough? Arguably not. If we'd done that for the entire half, I'd obviously be happy, but the rest of the time, no. He will be all over it, M. Collingwood. He will be all over it. Playing a little inverted fullback, coming inside, floating into those central positions. You know, it's very exciting. Very exciting. Big ball over the top, Solanke somehow in space. Laid short. This is a great opportunity for Bournemouth. Where were you lot? You, man. Defend. Where were you? Offside. Bournemouth have wasted another glorious opportunity. How the hell that's not ended up in a goal, and how the hell it got there in the first place, I'll never know. Free kick. Okay, he was offside. That's probably why. Decided to go vegan. Can I get a clap? You're welcome. Curtis wins a free kick. Curtis wins a free kick wide on the right hand side, just in front of the halfway line. Phillips takes it quickly. I'm getting more impatient. It's dangerously close to a diag. It's dangerously close to a diag. JB, we were crap for the vast majority of this half. I think just the last 5 minutes we've got better, but that's not good enough. And we're still 1-0 down due to one of the worst goals I've ever seen us give up. It was just god awful. Bournemouth do really well to play that out, a little flick around the back, and they can charge forward with Dominic Solanke. He's got Semenyo wide on the right hand side, who he finds. Emerson's across to him, but can't stop him from cutting inside. He shot from just on the edge of the area, and I think Areola might have got a tap over the top for that. Our defenders, we're an absolute mess. Zuma has had some outstanding games recently. Mavropanos has had some good games recently. Right now, I'm not gonna lie, that stuff ain't good. That stuff ain't good. Looking at my match bingo card. I'm close on a couple. If West Ham score ahead of the goal, then I might be in for a line here. Although I can't claim the 25 because I've already lost that, but it'd be close. Big punt forward. How long does it take you to get to London Stadium? Probably about an hour-ish. I don't know. About an hour-ish. Don't know. I haven't been for years, so I couldn't tell you. Last time I went was to go to the Copper Box to watch wrestling, but probably about an hour. Give or take 15 minutes or whatever. Two minutes of added time is about to be up. I think first things first, the big ping over the top looking for Jarrod Bowen. I think the first thing to say there is the halftime whistle. First thing to say, David Moyes goes flying back into changing rooms. Huge boos. Well, I say huge boos, they died down pretty quickly. But yeah, I don't know. I think the first thing to say is that James Ward-Prowse, that experiment on left just has not worked. I didn't think it would, and it definitely hasn't. He is not a left winger. It's not something that's ever going to work for him. He doesn't have what Paquetá has. I get the idea, but it's just nowhere near close enough an opportunity to really do it. I mean, outside of that, I think Cornet has to come on. It's just about who you take off. You could do a straight swap for James Ward-Prowse, but at that side, who's going to play the set pieces? But then again, who really cares at this point? You could take off. You could take off Souček and put James Ward-Prowse into that 10 position. That would probably be what I would do, despite the fact I don't think Souček is necessarily playing bad. He's just completely lost in that 10 position. And again, we know that doesn't work, so I don't get why we're doing it again. That seems kind of pointless to me. I think that's probably what I would do and then move James Ward-Prowse into that 10 where he's actually effective. Or you could take off, I guess, Calvin Phillips or Alvarez if you really wanted to switch things up in that sense. Although that would sort of, I mean, I guess you move Souček back into the 6th position, you put whoever's left with that, and then you put Cornet on the left. I don't really care how it happens. It just needs to happen because James Ward-Prowse on his left-hand side is such a negative for us. The thing is, I don't think Cornet relieves that issue either. I think Cornet creates a slightly different problem. However, he does have significant upside in open play from that position, which we can use. And I think when you do have Calvin Phillips on the pitch, I think that long range of passing could be super useful for a guy to just be fast to run into. But it's so many different permutations of why I don't like that. Just so many, Gio.
I'm bored. It's boring. The last 5 minutes was okay. We tried to have a go at them, but the problem is they look more dangerous than us when we were attacking.
Yes.
Yeah. We're so right side heavy tonight. It's unbelievable. If we're not going down the right, we don't have any chance of building up. Emerson running through the middle to some extent, but it's just our best player, Charlie, is Areola. We're losing, and our man of match is the keeper.
Yeah, and even then, the vast majority of the saves he's had to make haven't been outstanding. A lot of them have been directly.
That shot from
no, not a lot of them. There's one or two that have been very good. Yeah. Maybe one. Most of them are directly at him.
Yeah, I guess so, but I think he's our best player, and that sums up West Ham in the first half. I think it's just boring. Now, while I will sympathise with Moyes in the sense that it would have been difficult to prepare for this game because of the uncertainty regarding Pablo Fornals and Maxwell Cornet, the 11 he's playing, he's had them a week since Calvin Phillips joined, so he's had them for a week. He's had a week to come up with something using these 11 players, if that's the way he wished to go.
Yeah.
And this is his answer. I
think his answer is he's looked at it and gone, who's the player who I think could do the most amount of Paquetá-esque things? And the answer is in that role, James Ward-Prowse. The problem is James Ward-Prowse cannot really do any of them either. He's just the one that's closest. Like, it's like if you have a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is Paquetá, and you go, right, how close can we get to Paquetá? James Ward-Prowse is the closest from 0, and yet he's still at like a 2. He's just not, that's just not him. And then you look at what we're trying to do, like you say, we're so right side heavy because we just can't go. There's nothing on the left hand side. Emerson's doing not really super well. Like, we can't really have that link up play. Once or two, it's doing fine. That's not a criticism of Emerson. I'm just saying that one thing affects everything. You know what I mean? And then you go, right, so what are we doing in the 10 position? Well, we're playing Thomas Tuchel there. Well, okay, right, sure. That's never worked, but fine. Okay, sure. We're doing that. And then you go, okay, so then what are we doing here? That's just moving around in awkward ways. It just doesn't really make much sense. And I understand the ideas there, but it's not coming together in a cohesive whole. And frankly, I'm starting to get a little bit... I mean, I have been for a while, and I sit there and I go, right, when we get corners and stuff, I want to get up for it, but I have no faith that we're going to do anything with them. And I think, if anything, it's such a damning indictment of the way we've been coaching set pieces for what feels like forever at this point. It's basically since Dawson left, that we have the best set piece taker in the league, arguably one of the best the league has ever seen. And he's not even getting close to getting assists from these things. Now, that's not to say he has no culpability of that at all, because obviously he does. He's the one actually kicking the ball. So clearly there's something there. But at the same time, what are we doing? We've come up against a team who you identified at the beginning of this thing as saying these are one of the weakest teams at corners and set pieces in the league at conceding. This is one of the weakest. They're heading it away because we're hitting it at the first man every time. I'm so bored of watching James Ward-Prowse in swinging corners at the front man. I've seen it happen once this season work, and that's it. Every single other time it has failed miserably. And of the 5 times in my head I can think of that we've dared to do something different, it's gone in the net. So why are we doing the same thing over and over again? We've got one of the... He could pick out a pinpoint. If you had to ask me if I had to pick a player in the Premier League to kick the ball from 40 yards and get it in a bin, it would be James Ward-Prowse. And what we're doing is going, yeah, if you could just swing that into the exact near post again, because that's worked. It's so silly.
This rant. You never rant, Charlie. This is
I just find it so frustrating because it's such a waste, man. And then you look at it and I'm just like, I understand why you want to put James Ward-Prowse on and Thomas Tuchel on at the same time, for example, because of the obvious upside it brings. But it's like, it's completely destroying everything else we have. We can't be doing that. Cornet has to come on, mainly because we have no one
trying to
else.
wind me up now. I see you, James. I'm not biting. I'm not
It's
biting.
it's just long, Gio. It's just stupid, bro.
Well, I'll tell you what isn't long. Mavropanos is long throw.
Well, there is that as well, and Kurt Zuma's passing range. That's
Right, well,
apparently
listen.
1 foot.
Go for a piss and we top up your water, and I'll see you when you return. Will interact with the live chat. Let's see what you're all saying. It's time for substitutions, I think, or substitute one. Maxwell Cornet. Let's get Cornet on. I think coming into the game, there was a question mark over if he'd be here tomorrow or not. I think it's fair to assume he will be a West Ham player tomorrow. So let's utilise him. We're looking incredibly unbalanced at the minute. I think Phillips looks off the pace. It was always going to happen. I say always going to happen. I thought he would be sharper than what he has been. But when your first touch for your new club is to set up a goal, it's not going to help your confidence. His next 2 passes were a little bit wayward, committed a couple of fouls. So there's an argument for taking him off. Alvarez is a booking waiting to happen as always. Ward-Prowse is completely ineffective, but he's out on the left. Souček is ineffective in the number 10 role. So you can take your pick from midfielders. Our danger looks like Kudus, shot caller. Getting the ball, he's driving at Kelly. Kelly can match him physically, but in terms of pace, Kudus has got him. It's just getting Kudus to be able to go one-on-one with him is proving difficult. I'd be inclined to see Kudus central in the second half. We took a quick free kick. Alvarez gave it to him. He spun Christie and Cook in one move. Bang! On the half turn, away he went. I liked it. I wanted to see more of it. But what do you do on the right-hand side of the pitch? How do you get that to happen? So I'm in 2 minds as to what I want to see in the second half. I think I would like to see, I don't want to say switch to a back 3 and get Kudus narrow. I'm not sure about that. But I think if you're going to keep playing what we're doing, which is Bo and Kudus, I think we need to Cornet on the left. And I think James Ward-Prowse is a prime candidate to be substituted here. I know why people are ready to say Souček, but I think with Cornet and Kudus, we've had a little bit of joy down the sides tonight and got some crosses in. Let's get Souček in the box. Calvin Phillips is really good at taking set pieces. Took them for Leeds United. There's no reason he can't take them for us in the second half. My first sub would be Cornet on for James Ward-Prowse, actually. That would be the first sub I do. But let's see what you're all saying in the live chat. Tony saying Bourne on the right, Cornet on the left. And then Kudus central. Sam's blaming Zuma for that goal. I think Zuma has his part and Phillips has his part. I think they're both at fault. Ultimately, it begins with Kurt Zuma. I don't think he sees Ryan Christie, but regardless, it's a hospital pass from him. And Phillips just doesn't know Christie's there. But again, he doesn't know Slank is there. It's just terrible. Russ says Johnson's off as right back. I actually think he's doing all right. I don't think he's brilliant. I think he's having a solid enough game, truth be told. I don't have any grievances with Ben Johnson's performance thus far. Neil says best move for the second half would be to lock boys in the dressing room. Things don't change. It could be in for another Tonking. Did you would like Fornals for Souček move? There's no Fornals. Fornals isn't on the bench. He's on his phone in the tunnel. Mancunian said it's hard to support a side who apply themselves like this. We play the ball back from Mavropanos to punt it to Souček straight from kick. A lot of teams do that though. I don't get it. I don't get why they do it. Well, I do. It's because in theory everybody's a little bit out of place when you take kickoff. Everybody's disorganized if you want. Well, it's organized, but nobody's in the correct position. So that lot allows everybody to get into their natural position. And if you lose the ball, it goes out for a throw. And I kind of get it. I don't like it though. I don't understand it either. Mark said Alvarez has been awful. Ward-Prowse didn't notice was on the pitch until the 10 p.m s. I don't know. And Bowen has been shocking. Emerson's been our best. But I think Emerson's playing well. I like Emerson so far. Really want to see Cornet and Ings. We need more attacking players. Not really fussed who comes off. Johnny says put Ward-Prowse central. What's he doing on the left? We knew he was going to be playing on the left. Harry said called it before the game. Our corners would only go front post. I don't mind them as long as somebody goes there. Like Souček goes front post, so he's the front man, so he can flick it on. Nick would get Cresswell on for Souček, let Emerson run the wing. Cornet on for Ward-Prowse and put him as a 10. Casey says Emerson on the left and someone young left back on. Oh, Scarles, get Scarles on at left back. I think that's what you mean. Sorry if I've got it wrong. Joe says Johnson's doing great, far better than Sufal. Davis thinks Johnson's doing okay. I think he's doing fine. I think Johnson's doing fine. Kevin says Morris hasn't got a clue. Get him gone. The tactics formation selection is all wrong. Onion says Ben Johnson's our second best player. What are you guys watching? I assume you're referring to the live chat, considering I've just defended Ben Johnson. Anthos says Canvas is Suchek, Moyes dream team, Ronaldo, Messi, and Suchek. Leon says we're going to get exactly what we've got in first half. No changes. Subs from the 80th minute. Same old. It's hard to. Let me just click on the West Ham bench. I think he might bring on Ings, and he might bring on Kearney eventually. Maybe Mubama. That's about it. I don't think he'll bring on Casey. He won't bring on Orford, Scarles. I just don't see it. I can't see them doing it. Razor says Suchek off, Ings on, and Moyes get rid of Moyes now from Sullivan. The geezer's clueless. Look at his face. Artel says clueless. Moyes a service. Jack says 11 days off. Can't move. Leon said Ward Prowse and Suchek are a dead loss, and Devastator says Zuma giving Phillips that pass is to blame. I think he is. I think Zuma's to blame initially, but Phillips can still deal with it. Tony's asking any signing updates. There's none. I don't think we're doing any business. Tim Steiden is at the game. The guy in charge of transfers is watching the game. John says Bourne is far too isolated, needs more support. The manager should see this. I mean, he must see it. He just doesn't do anything about it. He should. It's quite obvious. I'm just going to skip the chat. I realise I'm quite far behind. Right, let's have a little look. And Neil says, I've been slagging Ings all season, but he's done okay in the last couple of games. Get him on now. Bowen says, can't say anyone's doing fine. Bournemouth should be 3-4 up. We've got the most defensive side possible, yet are being walked through. I think we can go more defensive. Be careful what you wish for and all that. Simon says, Johnson is not looking great going forward because Bournemouth are lacking down that side to cut off Kudus. He's doing fine at the back. David said there's no changes. Are they back out already? Charlie needs to get a move on. Stop piddling. Oh, he is. You stop pissing now.
I have. The piss is finished. Yeah. What an annoying situation, Gio. What an incredibly annoying situation. Yeah, it's the Greg's Primark collab, you know? Not gonna lie, I went to 3 different Primarks to find this. And I got it and I was happy. So
why didn't you tell me? I could have checked my local one for you and seen if there was one in stock.
Do you know what? I probably should have done that, but it felt a bit weird to go, Gio, can you go to Primark to look for Greg's merch for me?
I would have went and got you a Greg sausage roll t-shirt. I don't mind that. Anyway, before I go, can you lot at home please drop a like on the video, click the thumbs up. I don't know what we're on, but Charlie likes to get a few hundred. So if you could drop a like on, that'd be appreciated. So something positive can come of tonight's game. Anyway, Charlie, I'm off back to watch this second half. However, I do have a cup of tea waiting for me and a Subway cookie, and they are top tier cookies.
I strongly agree. Agree. Enjoy it, Gio.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Enjoy it. Speak to you later. There you go, Gio Mackie. Just a little bit of cheeky food chat for you as well. What a time to be alive. Strongly agree with him on the Subway cookie. Strongly agree. People disagree with me. My girlfriend disagrees with me. They're wrong. And while you're down there, by the way, while you're down liking the video, Match Bingo. Link in the description below. Download it. Teams are going to kick off. No changes at half time. It looks like from my screen anyway. Bournemouth are going to be the side to kick off. Come on, you Irons. Deploy the boys. It's time to run 2 things. There we go. It's time to run 2 things. Let's go. Bournemouth 1, West Ham United 0. Late night chippy tea here. Respect it. Jealous. I have like a katsu chicken yakisoba thing in the fridge that I've got to cook at some point. So probably that. Best part of Subway. Agreed. My girlfriend doesn't like those cookies. She says they're salty. I'm like, bro, they're peng. What are you talking about? Bournemouth getting the ball back. See, has there been any tactical switches at half time? My gut says no. but we'll see how we approach it. Bournemouth playing it around. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's the wrong thing. Almost just shut down the entire system. That's the vibe today, Sat. That's the vibe today. Hope you well. Hope you well, by the way, bro. Get the bells ready. The bells are prepped. The bells are prepped. Calvin Phillips playing it back to Emerson. To Zuma again. They're pressing, just forcing us into positions we don't want to be in. We're going to throw in off the back of it now. Rainbow cookie. Rainbow cookies are so good, DJ Hayes. Do you know what I mean? Smarties and a cookie. And not like, you can get ones from like, you can get like a packet, you used to be able to get them from Sainsbury's, I don't know if they still exist. You can just be able to get like a packet of cookies for like £1 or whatever, and it's just like 4 big cookies, whatever. And you can get like Smarties based ones, but they were never that good. But the Subway ones specifically, just bang. Jaffa cakes, unreal. Ishmael. Jaffa cakes are huge. Good pressing from Jarrod Bowen there, just forcing them to go long. That's it, force them to go long. We can win the ball back consistently from that position. Little flick on there from Thomas Suchek doesn't work, but I like it. I like the idea. Force them long. We will consistently win the ball back. Consistently. Very quiet atmosphere in this second half. Very, very quiet. Where are we? Are we close? You said 2 before, right? Yeah, 2 on the diag, and we're very close. We're very close on that, and then the chat wins. The chat wins if we do it. Don't know what. Vibes, I guess, for now. Let's start this half with a bell. Listen, Marty, if they call for it, they call for it. What did they talk about halftime, Jesus? Yeah, just a little bit of, you know, conversion in that. Ben Johnson and Solanke, just a little collision in the air. Solanke goes down, holding his jaw. I've got some Jaffa cakes in my pocket. Yay! I love that scene. Oh, mama. Oh, daddy. That's so freaking bad. I think that's what he sings. But wide. Semenyo flicks it in. Ben Johnson collects it and just hooks it away. Bournemouth playing the ball around at the back. Flipped across to Kelly at left back. Tavernier charging forward down that left-hand side. Plays it back to Scott. The ball in is poor, and Zuma easily clears it away. Don't do this to me, Axton. I don't want him to go. Let's get to the end. I love Spaced. I'd love Spaced. What a show. Thomas Suchek just plays it, flicks it into space. The problem is there was no one even remotely close to it. Still. Ward-Prowse finds Kudus this time. Ward-Prowse finding himself wide on the right-hand side currently. Back to Emerson. Calvin Phillips and him linking up. Once more to James Ward-Prowse. Wide to Ben Johnson. Short to Kudus. It's a good ball in. Jarrod Bowen can't get his head onto it. Bournemouth are going to charge it down. Stop it. Bell poll has been passed. There's been enough people in chat mention it. Bell, yes, no. Bosh. It's in there. 616 likes, by the way. We are flying with that. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There we go. Bell poll in chat. We'll give it until 52.5-ish. I should also put people's names in the top corner. I have not been doing that. I apologize. Let me do that now. Big ball forward for Bowen. Can't quite get the control. I apologize if you've hit a super chat and I have not put your name in a thing. Also apologize for the loud clicky keyboard for a second. There we go. Ball playing it back to the goalkeeper. Too much pressing to really speak of there. There we go. Thank you very much, everyone who super chat, by the way. Charles, to Sin, and to GP. Much appreciated. Apologies for not getting your name in there sooner. Kudus on the ball. Alvarez gets tackled there. He's not having a great game, but it's landed at the feet of Ben Johnson way over the top of everyone. Way over the top of everyone. "20 more seconds on the bell poll. Although it's going very heavily in one direction. So if you want to let your voice be heard, now's the time to do it. Jarrod Bowen goes down. Free kick to us. And there it is. There's the end of the poll. Let's end that and find the final official results. Yes. Is it going to pop up? It'd be nice. YouTube. There we go. Bell poll. Official. From 125 votes. 23% said no. 75% said yes. Again, don't know how that maths, but there we go. We're there. Going to be a free kick to James Ward-Prowse, and then we're going to go grab it. Again, deep corner kind of position. We've seen into a decent area. The header, though, unfortunately, goes wide from Thomas Souček. Right, I'm going to go grab that bell while I'm here. Give me a second. Be honest with you, that net gave me more trouble than it should have. Really struggled with that. Did not know where the hole was at all. Just smacked my hand against the table. I'm not going to eat the wax, Pete Cat, and I shan't be doing a poll for it either. No. Surprisingly, yes. But only when it's been called early. Like, I think the consensus was it was too early. I think it's failed twice. Really hurt. That does not... I didn't almost fall over. I was firmly on the floor. I was fine. Okay, I was good. Johnson finds Alvarez. Back to Zuma. The silent snack begins. Big ball forward. Jarrod Bowen nowhere close to it. Going to be a throw in to Bournemouth. Sort of in their right back position. Percentage of goals to shots, we have the highest in the league, 14.7%. Problem is we just don't flipping shoot enough. We don't create enough chances. I mean, that's the bit. The bit is to create as few chances as possible and to, for them to be really high chance, some really good high XG, high performance chances. And that's what we do. It's just, we're not great at doing it right now. Welcome to the stream, Mohammed. Now, I've been hoisted by my retard and have hiccups now, but still. Not a bad ball in, doesn't work out. Shot from range from Alvarez deflects and ends up in the hands of Neto, but a vicious shot. Force-wise. This sounds like fake crowd noises. Like, it feels like the sound is coming from a different match, because I'm looking at a lot of people sat down not feeling any emotions whatsoever, and I'm hearing, like, vague noises. Don't worry, so I'm good. I'm good. I'll only have one. Well, depending on what chat says. I refuse to have more than two. It's incredibly loud clapping by the mic as well. It just doesn't... It's fake noise. I refuse to believe this is noise that's actually happening. We're back in COVID. Kurt Zuma striding forward down the left-hand side. That's not a bad pass into Jared Bowen. It's fizzed a bit too much, but he manages to keep control of it, and then we work it nicely. This is nicely done. Jared Bowen almost trips over himself with the Antonio curse of playing up front for us, apparently. Nicely spread out wide by Calvin Phillips to the right. Johnson finds Kudus, takes it past his man nicely. Mohamed Kudus goes down in the area. Penalty potentially. Referee is not moved by it. That could have been a penalty. Moyes is very angry about it. Lloyd Kelly's in an awkward position. James Ward-Prowse is all over him, who, by the way, he seems to have switched over to the right-hand side. The referee is going to pull it back for VAR now. That felt like it could have potentially been a penalty. I don't know whether it was or it wasn't in first-time play, but you've seen him give him. Kudus takes on Kelly, beats him. That's a pen. That's a pen. That's a pen. He pulls him back. His legs collide. It's just completely awkwardness from Kelly. There's nowhere close to it. There is no way that isn't a penalty. It's poor from Kelly. It's not a dangerous challenge. It's not a good challenge. It's not a point. It's not even a needed challenge. He's just completely trips over himself trying to stop it. It's gone to VAR, but it's gonna be given as a pen. There's no way that doesn't get given as a pen. He tries to pull him back. The legs collide. There's no way that's not going to be a pen. Lloyd Kelly's had a bad game, by the way. He's had a poor game, and it's just not being needed at all. VAR check. He's going to go across the screen. It's going to be given. It's 100% going to be given. It's 100% going to be given. He's looking at screen now. He can't look at it more than 2 or 3 times, surely. That's going to be given. I cannot see a world in which that isn't. Lloyd Kelly's behind him. As the commentator just said, he's nowhere. Stephen McManaman, I think it is nowhere near the ball. He tries to pull Kudus back with his arm, and then the legs collide as well. How he's taking this long to look at it, I'll never know. But it's guaranteed to be a penalty. Sorry, I should say I'm not looking at the chat currently because I know you will be at least 30 seconds ahead or whatever, so I don't want to ruin it. Pen. Okay, pen. Pen given, 100%. Lloyd Kelly goes across to get a confirmation, but there is no way that was never going to be a pen. This is a really good and somewhat lucky chance to be back in this game. I've never seen such an obvious penalty being shown this many times, by the way. Like, and I'm not even talking about VAR. I've seen it like 5 times through the VAR thing. Then you had the close up on VAR with the ref, where I saw it like another 5 times. Then we saw it at least 2, 3, 4 times before that. Then we saw it a couple of times after that as well. Like, I don't need to see it that many times. James Ward-Prowse to step up. James Ward-Prowse to take. Come on. Has the bell worked? We belled. We got a pen. James Ward-Prowse takes it. Slots it home. Big, big, big. 1-1. 1-1. Now I can look. The power of the bell. Come on. Do we deserve it? I'll be honest with you, probably not really, but 1-1, we take that. We take that. Lloyd Kelly hasn't been great today. You focus on him, you go at him. Get the ball to Kudus, get him running at that guy, because he has not looked confident for the rest of this game. He's not looked confident for the rest of the game. He probably won't look confident for the rest of it either. So keep going at him. Good pen. James Ward-Prowse slaps it straight down the middle. No messing. No stressing. Bosh. Bosh. Listen, the people, they mock it, okay? They mock it, okay? And whenever it gets brought up to me, it's always in a sense of irony, you know? People who don't watch the watch-alongs, us lot, right? Not us, other people, other men outside of this, right? They go, oh, and you eat a bell, you eat a baby bell, don't you? Isn't that funny, Charlie? Yeah, it does. Guess what? It works. I'm just saying. I'm not a superstitious guy. But I tell you what. It works. Big plays indeed. Big plays. I'll give it. I'll give it today. Big plays. Big plays. Knowing it's on there. Semenyo, nice flick inwards. Ariola saves again. Gonna be corner to Bournemouth. Whipped in from the corner. That's high and wide. Kozuma easily headers that one away. That's a nice, to tell you what, that's a nice turn there. He's run into trouble doing it, but Tavernier does well with the turn. And Jarrod Bowen tearing it down, chasing it down. Kudus is marking the other man. Keep pressing, keep pushing. Force him into that long ball. Yes. Force him into that long ball, and then we go again. Underlay. Yes. It's going to be a throw-in to them. It didn't work out, but it will next time. It will next time. I'll tell you what, Mike, I will ask Jack tomorrow. We're recording Hammerlytics tomorrow based on this game. Patreon description below, by the way. We'll be asking for questions on there straight after this match. And I'll ask him. I'll ask him if he's ever seen the like, because the answer seems to be no for me. So Cherry's chat don't have a bells. Listen, they probably be eating cherries or something weird like that. You know? West Ham Network had cheese strings, and you've got to respect it. You've got to respect them knowing the game. It's just not quite baby bells. It's just not quite baby bells. You know? As Zombie Free said here, cheese strings are good, but it ain't no bell. It ain't no bell. Dominic Solanke, that's a great tackle. Good tackle, Alvarez. I don't think he's had the best game today, but that is a really good tackle. Tackle. Calvin Phillips playing it a little bit into danger of him, but boot cleared. Bournemouth tried to convert going forward. That's a incredible control. My Lord, Christie almost just scored an absolutely beautiful goal. Just a pile drive pass back to him. It was awkward. It was too powerful. It was behind him, and he collects it and spins beautifully, and then hits a shot from range. It was a difficult shot to have, and it wasn't on target, but it would have been an absolutely beautiful goal if it had gone in. To be fair. Danny Ings is looking like he's going to come on, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Nolan get booked there for something. I didn't see why. Apparently he just probably said too much when the penalty stuff was happening. Who knows? Ings looks like he's coming on. I'd be interested to see who for. Kurt Zuma again doing poorly. Good interception from Mavropanos. Lays it off Thomas Souček. A bit awkward, but it's fine. Kudus picks up the ball. James Ward-Prowse darting through the centre. This is the kind of positioning you want him in. Kudus instead takes on his man. Wins a free kick. Ryan Christie there's going to pick up a yellow. Easy yellow. Easy yellow. Listen. One is less likely than the other. I'll leave it up to you to decide which one's which. Tom with the £2. Thank you very much, Tom. As per usual. Very kind of you, sir. You don't have to at all. It's very kind of you. I'll lob your name in the bar. Here we go, Tom. Grown across the top now. Thank you very much, sir. It's difficult to judge Burns' game, DJ Hayes. I don't think he's had really much of an opportunity to impact it, to be honest. We've not got the ball. We've not got the ball into that sort of area enough. Free kick by James Ward-Prowse whipped in. It's not bad. Almost managed to flick it on there, Jarrod Bowen. He's had a couple of things. I don't think he's played well, but I don't think he's played particularly badly. I just don't think he's had much of the opportunity right now. Trying to hear the Bournemouth sub there. So Cliver and Sinistera coming on for Scott and Semenyo, I think. Sinistera and Scott for who? Cliver. Calvin Phillips off on his debut for Danny Ings. Right, well, what Moyes has done here is the worst of all worlds, but we move, I guess. So he's taken... Okay, right, so let's figure this out. He's taken off Phillips, which means that Thomas Souček will be the one to drop deep, which he is. That's the correct thing to do. So James Ward-Prowse... Jarrod Bowen's moved out to the left. James Ward-Prowse is the... Okay, so what's happened is do you know what? I'm gonna put my head in hands, but last time something worked, so I don't want to poo-poo it too early. But what has happened is Phillips has come off, which means Thomas Souček has taken up that Calvin Phillips role next to Alvarez. So far, so fine. You still have the question of what's ahead of that. We then have it's a 4-2-3-1. So in the 3, from left to right, you have Bowen, James Ward-Prowse. Oh, go on, Jarrod. He does well there to get past the first man, doesn't get past the second. It's going to be a free kick. I don't know which way it's going to be, but he does well there. James Ward-Prowse to the 10, and then Kudus on the right, and then Danny Ings up front by himself. Yellow card for Jarrod Bowen is insane there, by the way. Give a free kick, fine, but... That's a yellow, is it? How's that a yellow? Sure, okay, fine. That makes sense. It doesn't make any sense. He lied. It didn't make any sense. I don't really understand that change, but, you know. Yeah, I'm going to be real. If anything, I don't really understand that change. It does. All it seems to do is make us worse in every department. Well, I say in every department, I guess. I don't know. We'll just let it play out and see how it goes. Reserve judgment, let it play out. There goes the neighbour. That's the problem. We've had 51% of possession in this game. There you go. Found the problem. We never win when we have possession of the ball. Never. Not once. I can't remember what that's a reference. It's a reference to a film. I just don't remember which film it is. Gonzo for PM. Geo Deputy PM. God save our souls. God save our souls. Oh, what's her name? I wanted to make a Doctor Who reference. What's her name? Harriet Jones, MP for Flydale North. Yes, we know who you are. That one. That's what I was going to say, but it's not worth saying. Guns over contacts and pinball machines by 90%. Yeah, probably. Probably. They'd be deemed an essential item. They'd be taxless at that point. Big throw forward. Emerson cuts it out. Alvarez does well to just control it. Short into the path for James Ward-Prowse. Jared Bowen gets involved. Hospital pass from Danny Ings. Needless as well. Back to Alvarez. Misses everyone. And now they get to counter-attack. Christie charging forward. Alvarez does well not to foul him. And the ball comes across. Areola sticks out foot just to get it away. James Ward-Prowse's little hook clearance is poor. I don't know why we made this sub. Why did we do this? Jared Bowen out to the left. Okay, fine. I can see sort of the idea there, the vibe there. Good check there from Thomas Souček. I can sort of understand the Jared Bowen bit a little bit more. And I don't necessarily mind, I don't know, the good interception there from Jared Bowen charging forward. Danny Ings is right. It's just, why is he playing up front by himself? Danny Ings is charging forward into the centre of the park. Jared Bowen didn't really have any options to go, and he's forced Cook into a sliding tackle that wins a throw-in. Emerson looks to try and take it. A little bit of movement. Let's see who eventually ends up having it. It's James Ward-Prowse. Looks to try and flick it onto Emerson. That's going to be a free kick. It's going to be a free kick to Bournemouth. Clumsy. I understand the left. I understand Jared Bowen moving out onto the left, to be fair. I get that bit of it to some extent. It's an option. It's an option. But I don't like Danny Ings playing in the 9 position in a 4-2-3-1. It doesn't really add up. Big hoof forward. Zuma gets his head onto it. Thomas Souček nods it on. Big hoof again. Danny Ings charging it down. He should be able to get involved in the press a little bit, I guess. I mean, it's not his forte, but he's at least got fresher legs than everyone else. And now we know he's somehow staying past January. What a bad time to be Mubamba, by the way. Souček tries to figure it out. Can't. Zuma hooked forward. Remember, we're going to be live until the end of this game together, stressed, but then we, of course, have the live match review. Gio, we live literally straight after the match on the channel. And then at about 10:15-ish, we'll be going live again for the end of transfer deadline day, myself and Gio. Oh, that's nicely done through to Jared Bowen. Oh, the pullback. Danny Ings collects it. Back to Souček. Trying to find some sort of space. He's doing some step overs, and he tell you what, he hits a shot, it deflects. There's a big call for handball. I don't think anything happened there. So close. So close. The pullback was the wrong decision. He should have just dinked it. There are a couple of people in there. Just put it into that corridor with a little dink. Have Thomas Souček charge onto it with his big head. Free kick to Bournemouth. With his big head. The second I said 0-0, I was wrong. I knew I should have said a draw, but the second I said 0-0, I was wrong. I should have said 1-1. I literally, the second I said it, I went, oh, I'm wrong with that. Yeah, no handball for me. No handball for me. Not personally, anyway. I wouldn't have given that one. I mean, yeah, there's lots of different ways. I mean, I was listening. Gio was talking about it on the channel about where he would want to finish and all this sort of other stuff. I think the ball's dead for a moment. By the way, we're just having a bit of play. Oh my god! Don't show me that first goal again, Kurt Zuma. Yeah, I think there's lots of different permutations in which I would consider this season a win. And I think, unfortunately, most of the realistic ones see us not in Europe again next year, which leaves us with some very, very difficult questions to answer. But yeah, I mean, for me, success this season depends on if we get in top six, that's success, obviously. If we win the FA Cup, then that's success, obviously. Outside of that, it's about how well we do in Europe. I think we do have a legit opportunity to win the Europa League. I really genuinely do. And I don't really care how hard we drop off in the league. If we win the Europa League, I'm not really fussed. I'm not really fussed. Free kick somehow against Mohamed Kudus there. Not really sure how. Nice spin. I mean, don't get me wrong, he touches it, but Kluivert goes down as if he's been shot in the ankle. But I mean, he does clip him. He does clip him. Yeah, of course. I mean, I still think we can do it with this squad, you know. I mean, I guess me and Gia will go into it properly in the post show, as it were. I guess we'll talk about it more, but I'm sort of okay with it. I can't lie. But we'll go into it fully then. I think we have I think we have the team to do it. So the Bournemouth player might be coming off injured. Lloyd Kelly's probably going to come off, and Kirkish, who is a player we were of course linked to, we played in the Europa League the season before last. He's going to be coming on for Bournemouth at left back. I'm sort of okay with it, but I would have wanted it to be stronger. But for me, who wants the youth to be given a chance, you have to make spaces somewhere. I wouldn't have wanted Fornals to be the guy. I would have been fine with us losing two of our players out of the Fornals, Benrahma, Cornet trifecta. I would have been fine with us losing one of them. I'm disappointed I would have been fine losing two of them. I'm disappointed Fornals isn't the one who's staying. Fornals would have been my choice to stay. Cornet, I'm not convinced by it. I don't think he's that good anymore. I haven't seen him play well for West Ham in consecutive appearances since basically he first turned up here. Yeah, I can't say I have any hope of him. I would have kept Fornals, but outside of that, I mean, look, I would have preferred us to sign someone. I don't know. Did Gio say, I saw someone mention to Gio, was there been any transfer news or anything? I assume the transfer news is what we expect. Fornals is going to go to Betis. Benrahma's in Lyon already, and we're not going to sign anyone. I assume that's the news, right? It's all about starting 11s. It's all about starting 11s, and our starting 11 is as good in the Europa League as anyone else's, probably potentially. Might be a couple of teams who are a bit better, but you're talking Areola, Sufal probably, Zuma Aged, Emerson, Alvarez, probably some combination of Souček or Phillips with James Ward-Prowse, and then Paquetá, Bowen. Oh, that's not a bad ball, thankfully, behind the back of him, and Alvarez can put it away. Paquetá, Bowen, Kudus. I think that's Kudus with the back chop. He's skilling him up. It's not a bad pass, actually. It's the pass for James Ward-Prowse. He gets himself a little bit on. Bowen on the right, trying to cut inside. Now him and Kudus have switched sides now. Goal kick. Last touch off Bowen. He's not frustrated by it, so it must have been fine. That's sort of where I see. You look at that 11, I think that's good enough to do it. I think then the second string is obviously a massive drop off. But if you look at the second string as like Fabianski, Johnson, Mavropanos, Ogbonna, Cresswell, Phillips or Alvarez or Souček, whichever one of those isn't playing, I guess. You've got Antonio in there. You've got who else have you got in there? You've got Antonio in there. It would have been Fornals for me, but it's going to end up being Cornet in there. Mubamba in there. Ings in there. There's definitely something to make work, and that's fine because then you can sort of focus on it. But it's not. It's far from ideal. Let's be real about it. It's far, far, far from ideal. But at the same time, there is nothing that is ideal. Big ping forward, looking for Jared Bowen. He just looks so much better on the right, doesn't he? He just all of a sudden just wakes up Danny Ings lays it short to Thomas Souček, who flicks it in. Oh, the idea was nice. Almost the trifecta of Ings, Ward-Prowse, and Souček almost creating something special, but yeah. Souček lays it into James Ward-Prowse, and the flick was nice. First time he was in an offside position, regardless, there, Danny Ings. But he just didn't know it. He said he didn't see it. Listen, if the people vote for it, the people vote for it, you know what I mean? Solanke dinks it across. Alvarez with a little bit of an improvised clearance there, or touch on it, at least to get it away. Again, we're starting to just slip deeper and deeper here. We want to just make sure, if we could just make sure again that we can get those turnovers, just have them booting the ball at us. Ben Johnson dives in there, gets a touch, thankfully. Helps Kirkish up as they play the ball around. Sinistera trying to cut his way in, trying to twine his way through, in and out. Stopped, thankfully. Ben Johnson just forces the ball away. Jared Bowen clears it. Tell you what, Danny Ings ran onto that, and that's going to be a free kick to us. Well played, Danny Ings. Well played, Danny Ings. It's going to be a yellow card as well, I believe, for Lewis Cook. Two lines have been claimed on tonight's match bingo cards. If you're playing along and you're one of those people, congratulations. 2 lines have now been claimed. Someone has won £25, someone has won £50. Link in the description below to get involved. Starting to look like my luck's not going to be in tonight. Pinged forward by Johnson. There's been enough calls for bells. I just looked across the chat. There's been enough call for a second bell poll. I'll lob it in. I'll lob it in. Bell, yes, no. Bell, yes, no. We'll give it until 84.45-ish. 84.5, 84.45. Somewhere around there. You can see it. Bell, 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 bell. With a lot of them. A lot of them. And there was some before as well. Johnson does well there. Johnson does well under pressure, spinning, tossing and turning. Does well. Keeper Bell for Man U. Listen, GP, the poll is in chat. The people will vote. I will go with the vote, you know? Nice ball out wide. Tries to cut it in easy. Cross into the hand from Kluivert. Straight into the hands of Areola, who look to try and play it quickly, and it's well blocked off by Bournemouth, reducing these options, reducing the chance there, and Areola instead goes for a throw. Zuma charging forward. Jesus Christ, he does not look comfortable moving at all, does he? Finds Emerson. This doesn't look comfortable moving. Nice charge in there, but Danny Ings loses out instantaneously. It's just not a one, is it? Just not a one. Bell poll should be up now. Let's go and see what they're saying. Sinistera hits it, takes a big deflection off Mavropanos. Ben Johnson can't get to the hook. It's going to be a corner. 77% said yes, 21% said no on 150. Even more people voted that time. So I'm going to go grab the bell now as quickly as I can. Say a corner. The net did not trick me second time. The net did not trick me second time. I found it quicker this time. I'm not going to smash my hand like I did last time either. Like an absolute buffoon. Like a buffoon. Corner to Bournemouth. In swinger from the left-hand side. Thankfully, it's as bad as ours. Kudus manages to come away from it nicely. Skips past the first challenge, but has to slow down because there's no real space for him to get forward. Little bit of gripsing on the halfway line. Referee waves play on. Ward-Prowse back out to Kudus wide on the right-hand side. Ben Johnson's there on the overlap. Almost manages to reach him through by a deflection. Doesn't quite work out. And Bournemouth have the ball. 4 minutes plus stoppage time to play. 4 minutes plus stoppage time to play. There you go. Well, Mrs. Judas knows. Dean has been a big proponent of the mini fridge. And I think I am going to go with a mini fridge at some point. I just need to figure out the exact layout. But what I would like, ideally, is a mini fridge like on my desk or something here or whatever. And then the camera, like I could have a button where I press it and it's like another camera on the mini fridge. You know, when I get real over the top, have like a smoke machine. Obviously, I'm not going to have a smoke machine. But that sort of thing, give it a bit of drama. Give it a bit of GCSE drama. But, you know. And it goes. Gone. It's in. Will we get? Will it work twice in a while? Yeah, man. Yeah, and why not? If that's your vibe, that's your vibe. You know? If anyone, I mean, listen, I might end up getting a mini fridge at some point. That's a handball from Kudus, surely. I might get a mini fridge at some point. Dean's been on it for a while, and I think I should with just them in it. I also I mean, if anyone's been watching the watch-alongs long enough, back in the original watch-along days, during COVID and all that, during the lockdown, when we first started doing them consistently, it was me and young Tom. I remember I had food cam. I don't know if any of you were around that. Like, James is in here sometimes. If James is in here, James will remember it. Some other people have probably been around this long. I used to have food cam, which was a separate camera that would aim downwards that I could show what I was eating. You know, but I don't have food. We obviously don't have food cam anymore. So maybe I replace food cam with bell cam. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe that's the movement. Kudus wins a throw in wide on the left hand side. Yeah. Food cam. It was a banging idea. Ahead of the game. It was held up by a stack of games. Kudus tries to whip it in, doesn't quite work out. Like a stack of PlayStation 4 games were on top of it to hold it down so it didn't fall. It was balanced on an original Xbox, not an Xbox One or a 360. You had an original fat Xbox with the webcam like that hanging over the edge, and then a bunch of PS4 games stacked on top of it to try and hold it down. But that was in a different location. Whipped in, headed away. Don't have that shelf above me anymore, so food cam wouldn't work in the same way anymore. Now we have Danny cam. We do have Danny cam. Add Danny cam and Bell cam together. We're moving all kinds of madnesses. Pinged over the top. Straight into the hands of Areola, who throws it out quickly. Just put a cam in the fridge. The wire doesn't stretch that long. Maybe. Through several rooms to get to the fridge. I back it. 8 minutes of added time. Jesus. 8 minutes of additional time in this game. So we've got a while to go yet. Clive tries to whip this one in. It takes a deflection off Zuma. Alvarez just ends up sort of clearing it in a very awkward manner. There was a brief call there for handball against Kurt Zuma, who says this. Might hit his hand, but it's body mass. Body mass. Bournemouth are going to make another sub. Clive, yeah, it does. It hits off Zuma's hand, but it's in his body. It's in his body mass, whatever you want to call it. So, Bournemouth making another sub. Just trying to figure out who it actually is. Tavernier off. Fevre on. Moyes stinks fromage. Jean-Claude, that's a banger. It's just so blunt. It's just so blunt. Jared Bowen goes down. Wasted opportunity. Danny Ings runs like a cartoon character. Mate, Kurt Zouma runs like my granddad. And I ain't going to finish that joke, but you could probably guess where it's going. Flicked forward. Go on, Jared. Just endlessly head running. We are into Robert Snodgrass pressing territory. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's a 90-minute plus sub. 93rd minute. Here comes Maxwell Cornet. Big. Who for? Four now, still in the game, still at the game. Cleared away from Kurt Zouma. He's probably going to get a little round of applause after the game, sort of thing. Maybe not a good idea. You need to move around to prevent this. I'll be honest with you, Mrs. Judas, right? I sit at this chair for significantly longer than I should. I work at this chair. I do streams from this chair. I watch videos from this chair, relax in this chair. It's basically my life. And I'm constantly on the move. You know, stretching. Lots of stretches, lunges. I'm big into a lunge. You know? Have I considered it before and it scared me? Yeah, sure. But I'm alright. I'm good. I lunge. My girlfriend can attend. There's a lot of lunging going on. A lot of lunges. Smith to take a throw in. Wide on the right-hand side in the corner quadrant. 4 minutes. We're in the 4th minute of the additional 8. Made love in a chair. Never made. It's not that big a chair, B-Gads. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I've made lovely videos in this chair. Does that count? Doing pull-ups in the chair. I like sellotape myself to the chair. I just, work out. You know? Semenya lays it back. Bournemouth just passing it around. Yeah, I mean, please like the video. Please. Appreciate it. Please. We're doing really well. We're at almost 700, to be fair. We're at 693 right now. 693. How many people? There's 861 people in here right now, right? We're at 693 likes. If everyone liked this video, we'd be at like 1,007. We're at 1,400-ish. 1,500 odd. If we can get to 750 before the end of the stream, that's a huge achievement. Kudus coming off for Maxwell Cornet. Sure, why not? At this point, it's not going to do. It's going to do literally nothing. It's a like for like sub. It's the most like for like sub we could have done with Maxwell Cornet. So why? It's fine. Whatever. Give him 2.5 minutes to do nothing. Like the stress. I do eat lunch in this chair, Leon. Basically, I just live my life in this chair. I have headaches in this chair. It's just a lot going on. Just a lot going on. Oh, I just refreshed. We're at 740 likes. Let's go. 10 more and we've smashed it. I mean, we've smashed it regardless. We're ridiculously far ahead than what we usually are. So thank you very much, everyone. But at the same time, remember Match Bingo, going to be with us for the rest of the season. So if you haven't already, click on that link in the description below. Get in there. Get in there. While it bounces around midfield with a minute and a bit left, let's have a look at the other one. How did that go? Off topic for 5 or more minutes, we can't do now. So we were close with that. And Danny Ings scores. If one of those two things, then the chat wins. If one of those two things happen, the chat wins. We need to be, but we can't do off topic for 5 minutes because there's literally not that much time in the game left. And a Danny Ings goal. If a Danny Ings gets a goal now, the insane bingo wins. That's all we need. That's all we need. Romain Febvre getting a yellow card. Big punt forward. Less than a minute to go. Controlled down from Jared Bowen. Out wide to Emerson. Cornet. Backwards, much to the annoyance of the 15 people who are left in the stadium. Kurt Zuma's big punted pass forward makes a big deflection. Bournemouth come flying forward. We don't need a repeat of last time with the late minute goals. That would be nice. Slots it into Justin Kluivert's feet, who thankfully crosses a big deflection and it's headed away. Bournemouth collected. There's no one even remotely close to it. Slotted in. It's a nice pass looking for Sinistera. Cut out nicely by Mavropanos. And it's going to be a free kick inside our area. That should probably be the end of it. Remember that Gio will be live, ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments' time, straight after full time, to discuss the match at length, give you all of his thoughts. And then, of course, we will be live again after the game. We'll be live at about 10:15-ish on the channel. We'll be live again for the end of the transfer window, myself and Gio, with potentially some special guests, although I don't know about that. That was Gio's job, so I don't know if he's sorted any of that. However, this game feels like it's about to come to an end. The 98th minute has been played. That's an awful pass from James Ward-Prowse. That's a great tackle from Edson Alvarez to stop it. Referee looked like he was getting ready to blow the whistle, but he's going to give this one last time for Bournemouth coming forwards. Smith down the right-hand side. How the hell he's still playing? I have no idea. And there it is. Full-time whistle. 1-1. 1-1. Don't necessarily think we deserved it. If I'm being honest about it, I don't necessarily think we deserved it. But then again, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. We got a result. We got a draw in the end. It is what it is. Not buzzing about it, but we move. We move. Gio will be live though in a few minutes' time. Like I say, I'll spam that link in the chat right now for you to go ahead and get involved with. Do go over there and head in. Let your thoughts be known at the link in the description there. And thanks once again to Match Bingo, of course. Amazing app on your phone that you can get and do bingos along with the game. Congratulations to the people who won the £25 and the £50 this evening. Wasn't me, unfortunately, fuming. However, congratulations to those people. And I shall see you all in about an hour's time for the deadline day special. But there we go. The game ends. West Ham United won. Bournemouth won. Not a banger by any stretch of imagination. We can't lie. We move. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching. And once more, actually, very quickly before I go, where's the button? Thank you to GP, to Sim, to Charles, and to Tom. Appreciate you all. Speak to you later. Enjoy the review. See you later. Bye.